All right, welcome in everybody to Locker Room Sports Talk. I'm your host, Big Matt, co-host with the most over here to my right, the Diamond Dean, live over here on TikTok, streaming, adding new followers every day. That's what we do. Growing and showing is what we got. We're excited to be a part of your evening here. Show number 261.
261.
Make sure you subscribe. TikTok people, make sure you follow and share us. Show us some love over here on YouTube and all those places. Right out of the boat, let's give a shout out to Smorgasbord Pops over here, Brad and Brasha. Went by there and had dinner Friday night before we headed over to the garden. Great supper.
Yeah, good stuff.
Dean had the catfish.
Wish I'd have got the steak.
And I had the steak and got me. Dean ate a big salad and good food. Go by there and see them.
No, the salad was good.
Go by over here at it's beside the old Pick and Save over there at the old Guppy's restaurants over here in town. Yep. So y'all go by there and see them. Now, tonight we've got a lot to talk about. I have got notes on top of notes and news, breaking news right here. That's why you hit the subscribe button. Dean, class of 2025 recruiting news, college football, Bama 4, Georgia 2, Auburn at 6. Juju Lewis decommits from USC Trojans. He was at the Georgia and Tennessee game. We're talking about Carrollton's own, their finest.
I figured that was coming, didn't you?
Yeah, well, Longstreet, that's been committed a long time to Texas A&M, has decided to take his talents from Corona, California, in-state and stay in-state and stay with USC Trojans. Likes the idea that Lincoln Riley has four Heisman Trophy winners and 5 NFL quarterbacks. That's big for him. Juju also, Jeff Anderson gives some stats here. 25 for 29, 300 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Next week be Valdosta at home, the revenge game for the Trojans of Carrollton.
Two. I mean, I'm assuming that they've played 12 games. Jeff, you're watching. I know you know his stats. Has he got 3,500 yards? I mean, at least, probably.
What's up, JB?
I looked on Max Preps. It really didn't have
Kahuna, what's up?
His stats on my phone. But I'm just wondering how many yards he's got. He's got to have 3,000, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think he's over 4. Thank you for happy anniversary, Jeff. We did have a good weekend. Just had dinner and a movie. Went and seen The Red One. Good movie. The Rock. He's rescuing Santa. This witch kidnaps him, and she's taking the spirit of Christmas from Santa Claus and going to capture all the naughty little boys and girls in these globes, and she's going to keep them. And The Rock does what The Rock does, and he kicks butt, and it's a good movie. No
Pretty
cussing, no language, good family movie. There's some of these killer snowmen that come out of the ocean and get after them. Just a good overall movie. 8 out of 10.
It?
Yeah. I would if it come on Netflix or something, I'd watch it again.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we can go sit down in a movie and there's not some agenda for same-sex people, or there's some agenda for some political point to make somewhere against somebody. You can just have a good, let's just make a movie.
And I don't want to get real into this, but I was watching, since Mom had her wreck about a year ago, I spend a lot of time over there, and she watches Law and Order Special Victims Unit. You would not believe the digs they get in. Agenda digs.
Yeah, just don't do that, because that's why you lost election. That people's paying attention now. Okay,
I mean, they're
let's just not. It's just a bad. It's a bad strategy.
Ton of digs against the church.
It's kind of like if your team's losing and they've stuffed the run all night long. I just keep running it.
Yeah,
it's a bad team management. So that's that. But it's a good, clean movie. The Red One, y'all go see it. TikTok people, make sure y'all go follow us over there, share us over on the pages, and we can get up to 1,000. We can stay live and not just have to do a 10-minute spot. Now, with Juju being out, I mentioned Longstreet, lives there in Corona, California. He's going to stay at home. 5-star quarterback, was committed to Texas A&M. Mm-hmm. He's out from A&M. He's going to stay at USC.
Okay.
So Coach Riley lost a 4-star, picks up a 5. Okay, now Turbo Rogers, Anthony Rogers it is for local high school people, plays down at Carver.
I saw that.
His brother plays at Bama, I think, or he just came last year. He's got a lot of friends at Bama, several friends. He's off the list at Alabama. Running back I knew this was coming back in the summer when Alabama picked up Ackland Deer, tailback. He's a high rated tailback.
Out of Mississippi.
Yeah, I kind of felt like it was going to. Everybody wants to go play, and he's probably like, I don't want to. He don't
want to ride the bench.
Yeah, he don't want to have to play behind him.
Right.
But I would say go play and see what happens.
Yeah.
You may be better. Stars ain't everything.
No. I mean, Haynes come to Alabama, and he's a huge part of their rotation already.
Yeah, I mean, level of competition.
As a sophomore.
And where'd he play at?
Buford.
That's great competition. I think Carver's good competition. I think Anthony's played against pretty good competition. Yeah. So I would have, but kids want to do what they want to do. I think he's going to Ohio State. I think him and the kid from Parker, Naheem Alford, I think they have family in Ohio.
Mm-hmm. I saw we can get into that later.
I think it seems like
Judkins is starting to do a little better.
It seems like a lot of kids are staying around the house, with Deuce Knight. He's from Mississippi and he's supposedly committed to Auburn, but now Juju's open on the list. Is Auburn going to try to pick him up? He was at the game, the Tennessee-Georgia game. He's been to several Auburn camps. And
are you pretty sure this Juju defecting from USC is because they actually won yesterday, but they had 4 or 5 straight losses?
Well, they picked up Longstreet. They don't need him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just is what it is.
It was over the losses at all.
Well, it's a long way from home, man.
It is California,
and you got a hometown guy that's from Corona right there, and now wide receiver French, he's been committed to Florida for a while. He's a 5-star, big time athlete. A lot of people's got their eyes on him. He was also at the Georgia-Tennessee game. Auburn's tried to put their finger in the pot and get after him. I think Alabama's kind of set with receivers. People didn't expect a 17-year-old Ryan Williams to come on the scene and just splash and make such an impact that Cunningham's like, I don't think I want to come and try to share balls there with him, because Bama could bring back all their receivers.
Good.
I don't see Kendrick Law staying. Yeah, they could all come back. Law seems like
they don't throw to him a whole lot.
And I don't know.
He's a great blocker.
He's a good blocker. He's a good player. Now, I've read things. This is just assumptions, and that makes a butt out of me and you both. That he's got in trouble a time or two. Nothing serious, but that's what hindered him from playing as much.
Yeah.
So that may be false. He may be the best kid on the team. I don't know. So I'm not trying to talk about him. I'm just trying to give fans a reason of why ain't he playing more? Because I love him. I think he's great. I think he should get the ball a lot more. But they've been throwing their tight ends a little bit more.
I wish we still had Holden. I'll just be honest with you, because he's doing well out at Oregon.
Yeah,
Sean Holden.
Yeah, I liked him. Now Colorado gets a big win this weekend. They're going to roll right along and play in this conference game, guys. IMG Academy kids, they're pipelining. Dion is pipelining kids from IMG. He had 4 kids from IMG. He had a linebacker, a safety, a wide receiver, and a top running back at Colorado this weekend.
They're playing good right now.
Yeah, and when kids come out there, they're seeing big stuff. Georgia even changed their stuff. They had a DJ the whole game. Mm-hmm. Georgia was shooting fireworks during the game. They said they had up like this party planning committee come in where their recruits were in their recruiting rooms and set up all kind of cool stuff. So Kirby's trying to, play along with the game. You got to have a manager, somebody to come in and kind of sets all those things up.
Yeah, because he don't have time to fool with that.
No, you have people that do that, like the Morgan guy does at Alabama, the heavyset black guy. Mm-hmm. That's what he does. He sets up all these recruitment and has videos, and the kids come and play games and all kind of stuff.
You got to have that. You can't have somebody coming to coach smart before the game going, what do you want us to do with these recruits?
Right now, yeah.
Well, take them over there. We'll get them some pizza.
Yeah, it's not like that anymore. With this days and age, and you got TikTok and stuff, kids want to go make videos, and they want to be cool and do that kind of stuff. DJ Pickett, he has been committed to LSU for a while. He was at the Georgia game. He's a 5-star cornerback. Wow. Pickett. And the 4-star Baldwin guy, a 4-star cornerback, he's from up north too. Indiana pulls in a big commit.
Indiana, hey, they're going to start getting some players. I mean, especially if they win Saturday.
Tis what it is.
We're going to find out how real they are.
Yeah,
we know Ohio State's good. So we're going to see how good Indiana really is this week.
Muscle Shoals will be able to It'll be Clay. Yeah, maybe so. Let's get into that. Let's talk about some high school playoffs, Dean. What's up?
What's up?
Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Let's look at it.
I like some of the matchups. We can pick these too if we want to.
1A playoffs right here. We had a fantastic game of the week brought to you, of course, by the fantastic people that we got to talk to the other night. Mobley Concrete Construction. Thank you, Jerry, for sponsoring us and sponsoring the game over there at Spring Garden in Berry. Wow, what a game. Mobley Concrete Construction, 903-343-8581. Give them a call. Find him on Facebook, Mobley Concrete and Construction. They have their jobs posted there, and you can take a look at them. Free estimates if you need a AC pad to set your AC unit on, or if you need a 50 million square foot pad. Jerry will get her done. So appreciate him for our sponsor in our game of the week. Spring Garden, 6-0. Wow. If you like defense and you like that old style LSU Bama games, you were at the right game. I mean, these guys threw punches and counter punched and backdoor punched and goat kicked, and they fought all night long. The Norris kid for Barry that we studied on and read about, he's as advertised. He's a hard runner. The guys play good. Their offensive line had some tall guys. Several of them were as tall nearly as Jacob.
Yes, they were big.
Or John. They're both tall kids.
They had I think I saw where Norris had 144. He run it a bunch.
Yeah.
He run it 27 times.
I was going to say he had to carry at least 30 times.
And but they didn't have a ridiculous amount of yards, which nobody's ever gained a ridiculous amount of yards.
Not on Spring Garden.
I think it was maybe 260.
Yeah, to hold them to 6.
Yeah.
And they're usually it was kind of evenly kind of matched on points for or against, sort of. Spring Garden's defense was better.
Mm-hmm.
But
and they got down there.
They just get opportune moments, and it just didn't go their way.
They just didn't run a lot. They didn't get a lot of snaps.
Yeah, you told me that on the way home.
I mean, Barry.
They didn't Barry kept the ball a lot.
Snaps. Yeah.
They just kept the ball.
I don't know that. I mean, I never saw an official stat on it, but I would say that Spring Garden didn't have 35 for 40. They had less than 40 snaps.
Yeah. And if you ain't got the ball, and that's what you do, you just, Barry's a running team, and you play keep away. And,
Well, they had the last 8 minutes, did they not? Was it last 8? 5? Or
it was last 5 or so, I know.
Yeah. And, they were having to work hard for their first downs, but they got them.
Then there was a few officiating calls, and I'm not going because Coach Ragsdale is not going to blame it on reffing. He will not do that. I'm not really either, but there was a few like before halftime, and he hit a guy kind of late on. He's already on his knees in the plays. They kind of missed a few, and then I think they both, Barry and Spring Garden, I think fans were both confused at times in the game, like, what's the call? Like, what are we doing right now? And it moved the ball, and then it's personal foul, and then with personal foul here, we're going to just offset them. And you get the guy that starts it usually, and I've seen that. I think they missed that a time, or I know they missed it one time. And I'm not blaming it on them, but it was just – it wasn't a real clean called game. I can say that, right?
Right.
I think I can say that.
The thing I can say about it, well, Norris ended up – and the quarterback played good for them too.
The quarterback, Ace Norris, the brother.
And they played good.
Yeah, they're good.
They were the difference. Of course, John had a great game.
Yeah.
Catching the ball.
Yeah, on a 4th down, that big pitch around the end. Crap, man.
Yeah.
Hollingsworth, number 5. He was. I read up on him as advertised. It's good.
They Spring Garden, obviously their failure to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
And they were down there twice.
That's just
the way it happens. Teams tighten up, defenses tighten up.
You get in that phone booth, it is hard.
It is. It's tough.
But hey, these seniors you're gonna mention here, they've had a great career over there, and we followed these guys, Dean, since they were freshmen.
I got the spreadsheet here.
Since we've started doing this, we've covered them a lot. So shout out to all the seniors over there. I love all you guys so much, and we're going to see you for basketball, and then we'll see you for baseball. So it's not the end. I told shout out to Tim Bates and Lissa. They're great people, and be a part of both their sons' lives. We've covered football for both the boys.
Both boys for a long time.
And he's always been real vocal of, letting me know he appreciated the coverage that we give the boys, and we do. We love all the guys, and I hate it, man. I hate when they had that cry. I can't. That's hard. I've had one come off field crying, and as a parent, and I love these boys, man. I've known them, a lot of them, for a long, long time. It's hard. Man, I'm a parent.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm trying not to be a big softy right here, but it is very, very hard. So
I'm going to mention these guys, and 12 of them, and I've got some stats for some of them that I was able to obtain. You got Johnny Baker. He started at wide receiver, number 24. Hayes Garman, he kicked and started on the line. He's a senior, Coach Garman's son. I can't believe he's a senior. I was kind of like you on that. Mason Woods played on the line. Nicholas Deaton played defensive end. Carson Bostic was a defensive back. Got to play a lot. Of course, the Welshes, brothers, twins, Jacob and John. Connor Bates, Noah Barber, Tanner Ruart, Gray Simpson, and Clayton Sadler. Now, I tried to compile some stuff for all these guys, but what I got, this is all I got. I got this from old clippings and stuff like that. Ruark and Simpson had over 100 tackles in their career. Sadler had over 125 tackles in his career and rushed for over 1,000 yards. Wow. Barber had 2,000 yards of total offense and 150 tackles in his career. Jacob Welsh had 200 tackles in his career. Ain't no telling how many behind the line. I have no idea. Probably 190. John Welsh had 1,500 rushing, 1,200 receiving.
Wow.
And over 3,500 all-purpose yards to go along with 150 tackles. And last but not least, I think I've mentioned everybody except Connor. Connor, 3,500 rushing.
That's a great high school career.
30 and 200 hits.
Over 200 tackles. That's a great career for look, guys, anything or 1,000 or 1,500, I'm just people's got because we see a lot of more news now. We see a lot of more news, and we see these guys like the Alvin Hendersons, like 10,000 career.
Yeah,
that's not
normal.
He's a unicorn. Okay, so I'm just saying for average small town USA like us here, Spring Garden, Cedar Bluffs, Gillsville's, Sand Rocks to Cherokee County is not a huge school. They're not a giant 4-8. If you've got, for me, and tell me if I'm wrong, you please tell me.
Yeah.
I think if you're over 1,000 or 1,500, I think you've had a good career.
Yes. I agree. Well, he had 2,000-yard seasons, a 700-yard season.
Well, he was hurt last year a lot. Missed some games.
And I have no idea who the leading rusher, and there's been a lot of good backs at Spring Garden.
Yeah, I wonder who
you got him, Trey Littlefield, Forrest Livingston.
Oh, yeah.
Just a bunch of guys. Dakota Lambert.
Oh, yeah. I forget about those guys.
They had a Messer guy that was
Howard's
good.
First groups over there. Yeah.
Kirk's. But I would say that Connor's got to be in their top 5.
Yeah. If you're over 3,000, it's got to be
3,500, 2,000, 1,400 yards this year. 1,400 on the nose.
How about that? Good job, guys. I'm sorry you lost, and I hate it. We don't pick games. I was really confident. I'm usually, if I don't think so, I'm usually just kind of more quiet.
Yeah,
I'll stay a little more reserved. But if I feel like this team can win, I'm going to say I feel like, and it just didn't go their way that day.
No,
if they line up and play again tomorrow, they may beat them.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot go their way.
That's just kind of how it goes.
Really calls. Just
the calls are weird, man. I need to get off that because I don't want nobody to think I'm blaming on them because Coach Ragsdale and Coach McDonald and them are not. They're not going to do that.
They go for it on 4th and 1 and get the first down by a half yard. I mean, it was just a tough night.
Weird calls.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. A great season. We'll see you men for basketball really soon. 6-0 final over there now. Cherokee County. 42-14. I'm getting scores when I can get service on little parts of the night over there. Because we went up staying in Spring Garden all night, and it was cold. And Friday night, let me go ahead and tell you, it's going to be colder Friday. You better put on some thermal breeches Friday. It's going to be cold Friday night.
Really?
Yeah, very cold. Probably looking to be at Piedmont 5 games. So we're thinking right now. Just we stay kind of around here close to something good going on. It's be a big game. But the Cherokee County, it was kind of close. Like halftime, I'm getting scores, and I'm like, well, I knew it's going to be. I thought it'd be a good game. And then time we get into the third quarter and stuff over there is getting serious, and trying to score, and it's like 28-7, like boom.
Yeah.
Tay winds up going over 100.
Over 100. Tristan. All three of them, I think. I think Keyshawn had 96.
Keyshawn, yep, 2 touchdowns. Tristan had 17 tackles.
17.
He
probably close to 140. Well, they rush for 200 yards now. Central Florence was a good running team.
That's their thing. That's what they do.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's the most yards Center's given up against the rush, which is not a ridiculous number.
It's round 2 playoffs, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're playing good football teams now.
If 200's the most you ever give up rushing, you're pretty good.
Coach Hendo will be okay with that. What about Caleb Harbor picking up that fumble and taking off with it? Big Daddy, I see you out there getting it. Give him old big boy some love out there. He picked up fumble.
He scored?
Did he get in? I don't know if he got in or they pushed him out before he got in. He got in.
Sorry.
The ref blocked it. I couldn't see on front of where the camera where Ryan was shooting the video. But shout out to Caleb on that. Love him. His people, good folks. We're happy for all the guys. And
300 yards rushing.
It's a great game. I mean, everybody got involved. Tristan run for over 100.
Yeah.
Tay went over 100. And our little quarterback buddy had one pass, and I think it was just a pitch forward on a sweep or something, is what I was told. Yeah, it was, and it wasn't even a pass down the field. But, hey, look, man, if it's working, that's what you do.
I went to a game one night. The team didn't throw it much. They didn't throw it at all. I got the paper the next day, and they said the quarterback threw for 231 yards. And I'm like, when? Where? Well, I called 6, and it was against Oaks Bluff, and he's like, he was pitching it to that guy on the sweeps. I'm like, that's rush. That's not a passing yard.
If it's forward to the line of scrimmage, it is a pass.
But they had their running game going over 300 yards. That's
a normal night for Cherokee County.
Yeah, I mean they probably average 300.
Shout out to them. Hey, if y'all want to continue to watch us, go over on YouTube and find us. So we're all on Facebook, Locker Room Sports.
And Matt, I won't say, of course, Tay's already gone over 1,000. He's got over 1,200, but Woods getting close to 900. And Tristan has 600 to go along with this.
Wow.
100, I'm guessing 135, 140 tackles.
Yeah.
Now, I do not know their tackles. I have no idea.
Total career? No, I don't know yet.
Oh, I mean, I don't know they're for this year because Wise did the stats through the regular season. And I guess since everybody's not in it anymore, they don't do it, through the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, but he made 17 the other night. I want to say he had 110 through the first 10.
I think he had 12 the first one.
So he's got 20. So he's got 140 tackles.
Dean, they're gonna make a trip to Brooks.
Well, tell us about Brooks.
Coach Bowen's Killian, Alabama.
We talked about them thinking they would be decent.
Yeah. 454 and 212 against guys. We're talking about Brooks 10-2 on the year. The 2 games that they lost, West Morgan 42-10 was an L, and they lost to this Central Florence team 28-24.
Was that how long ago?
Week 3.
Okay.
Central stopped Brooks in the fourth quarter with no scores to win the game. So I think if Central could stop Brooks in the fourth quarter, I would just feel fairly confident that maybe one of the top defenses in 4A would probably have a good shot at stopping Brooks from scoring also in the fourth quarter.
So, yeah,
just by numbers. No shot down to Brooks, but our coach Tim. So they're going to travel out there to Keene, Alabama. 41-34 win over Alexandria last week. That score there with Coach Gannon, where his bunch is, what a great year they've had at Alexandria.
Yeah, 8-4. And come back in that game. They were down pretty good from what we heard. 28-7 at one time.
Shows a lot of fight. Shows a lot of moxie for that team. So shout out to them. But their guy, their quarterback, Garrett, Burrough.
Burrow?
So
Burrow, I think. Maybe.
Instead of Borrow, well,
Yeah.
UGH is
So
like
it had to be
Uga.
Burrow.
So Garrett Burrough, number 6 on his jersey, number 1 in the hearts of the Brooks fan base and his mom and dad, I'm sure. 6'1", close to 200 pounds. The team runs through him.
He good.
Is the guy that makes it go. 1,600 passing, 6 touchdowns, 1,800 last year, 17 touchdowns.
Wow.
Over 1,000 rushing, 22 touchdowns on the ground, 1,600 last year and 22 on the ground.
Really?
Wow. Slade Vandervliet, Max Preps Player of the Week, one of their receivers, versus Wilson. He's rolling in at close to 500 yards receiving. Number 3 running back, they got a Roe Thompson. Looks like a good player, but this guy here, Symarien, Samarian Coffee, 813 yards, 11 touchdowns, 300-yard runs, and he's averaging 6 yards a carry. He's got 12 touchdowns. He's number 21. Keep your eyes on the guy in 21. 21 and number 6. I'm not done. This is a good football team. You go through here and study their players. Cooper Wood, he's one of their D-backs. He is number 1. Watch him. I watched him on film. Carries a towel in his back. He pays attention well to where the plays are moving. Good hips and shuffling to the correct side of the field. Good tackler. Middle linebacker, Braxton Johnston, number 50. Number 13, Tanner Brown, another wide receiver. Number 19, Watson. He's a junior running back for this Brooks team. Now, these are the 3 Max Preps Players of the Week several times. Charlie Buttram, 6'2", 200-pound linebacker, 125-plus tackles on the year, had over 130-some-odd last year. He's a tackling guy. He's a big kid. He is the catcher on the baseball team. So you baseball people, hear what I'm telling you. He's the catcher. You know what that usually means.
Yeah.
They're tough as crap.
Yeah, tough.
They're tough.
Doug Pike was the catcher at Cedar Bluff.
Just Preston Burt, just tough. Yeah. Samuel Cosby, just tough.
Too. Yes, exactly.
Big kid. He gets the runner off their feet. When he dives and makes in his tackles, Dean, he comes in, he wraps his hands up. The kid's feet are coming off the ground. It seems like he's just always in the right place. Talking about number 12, the linebacker, Buttram up there for Brooks. And I did see him line up at wide receiver also, some Cherokee County people. This is their catcher, linebacker, number 12, Buttram, 6'2", about 200. Now, another linebacker beside him that he shares with that's going to play a little sneaky over the end, on that end over there, kind of where Chestnut plays at. Number 2, Lucas Oakley. He's a little bit taller. He's 6'2", 220. About Chestnut size, about that tall, about his size. He also does line up, play a little wide receiver. He's going to have right at 90 tackles. He's a special teams guy. He's going to come downfield. He's going to find the guy with the ball. He's going to try to tackle you. Number 2, he's going to run down on special teams and make this ball. He has a good bull rush. I've seen him come off the end on many plays. This is Lucas Oakley, number 2 for Brooks.
Yeah,
straight arm, stiff arm. When he comes off that end, he's going to get that stiff arm on you, and he's going to have that right hand open. And when you try to grab, he's going to rip. And he's in the backfield, and he's got your quarterback on the ground. That's what I've seen him do. He makes a mess in the backfield. He causes a lot of havoc running around the ball. He reads well, and he reacts well. I'm just telling you by watching from what I'm seeing. Now, lastly, Sailor Pinegar, 5'10", 200 pounds, number 5. He's a senior.
Yeah, I saw that name. I'm looking at it
Big star right here, number 5. 400 yards receiving last year, 100 rushing. He's very fast. He's quick off the ball. He makes great first steps. He knows what he's doing. He played a little wide receiver last year. I hadn't seen him caught much this year. He had 18 tackles versus Deshler, and he had 15 versus Rogers. So he's getting a lot of tackles against good opponents.
See, he's got, according to this, what I see here, he's nearly got 100. Those 3 have right at 100.
Buttram, Oakley, and Pingar. Those are you guys, man.
Well, and according to what I'm looking at here, Matt, they average about 350 or 375 yards a game.
Yes.
I mean, that's which center gives up less than 200.
Yeah, something's got to give.
Yeah, somebody's gonna.
And you see, they lost those 2 games that they lost. They lost to West Morgan by 4 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
They played a close one. Central just stopped Brooks in the fourth quarter from scoring. The box score had Brooks at 0 for the fourth quarter, and Central scored in every quarter, scored 7 in every quarter.
Look at was
their schedule.
Yes, who they beat.
They've. I mean, that region they're in. They're in the region with all that. They're all in there in that region, whatever it is, 6, I guess, with West Morgan and all them. So
it's pretty tough.
That West Morgan is just like better than everybody in that region. Same as last year, man. Same as last year. Same thing.
Okay, so they beat Hatton, beat Wilson, Danville. Dashler beat Dashler pretty good.
He had a lot of tackles, the Oakley kid, the Pinegar kid.
Their closest game outside the ones they've lost was to Alexandria, whose center, or Cherokee County, I call them center, beat pretty handily.
Mm-hmm.
Not handily.
Oh, Hanley.
Hanley's in it. Oh, they're playing Hanley?
No, they're already out.
They played that St. Michael's first round.
Wow, man. Yeah, we'll talk about that. So the Cherokee County Warriors, there's information. I'm sure y'all studied it. There's some, maybe if you missed a little part, I hope we shared a little bit of info to let you guys know about who you're playing. It's about a 2 hour, 40-minute northwesterly drive from here, Florence area, like where most football is.
Yeah.
Up in that area, it's just that way. It's going to be Decatur area, Muscle Shoals, or, up that way.
It sounds like they're decent.
The Swampers from Muscle Shoals. That's what Leonard Skinner said, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're
Swampers.
I think.
Muscle Shoals has got the Swampers. Boo, hoo.
They all did what they could. I have no idea what that means, but it's famous.
Yeah. Well, they recorded, side note here, Leonard Skinner, the name of their PE teacher is where it come from.
Leonard Skinner was his name, right? But
they recorded at a little shack up there, the Muscle Show. That's where they recorded their music. So they talked about
okay.
Local. They're from Florida.
I've never been to Muscle Shows.
Yeah, it's a nice little place.
I've been to Florence.
We played baseball up there. There's a Mallard Baseball Park. You go up there, boys had a good time. You go up there, like a water park during the summer. It's great for playing baseball. You can leave there.
Aren't they in the semifinals?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the Elite 8 and 6A Muscle Show. I didn't do 6A. I didn't look at 6A.
I don't know.
Except for 4 paint. I didn't either. 4 painting off.
Let's go over here and click on the guys. Y'all click over here on the page. You can go to ahsaa.com and it'll take you over to si.com to the bracket. You can look at it there. We're going to start it here at 1A up here in the top quarterfinals. Starting this weekend, it's going to be cold Friday night. You better get a bog in. You better get some gloves. Dean will have hand warmers and 4 jackets on.
Yeah,
he'll be frozen to death.
We're just going to wear a bog in.
Full face mask.
Not wear a ski mask. We might get arrested
for trying to break in over at Piedmont. Coach Miller, get them clowns out of here. Who's that? Them old Shaw boys? Them fools.
Got ski mask on. Everybody start running.
Who is that? We may get snow. I don't know. Maybe if Winston Smith, if you're watching, you can holler at us. I wonder if he'll be there.
Yeah,
be cold.
I like going to Piedmont.
A lot of people can just watch NFHS. Oh, that's something else I want to say. We had some talks, and me and you talked about crowds and at games and not as big as it used to be. Like we're talking about when T-Bird and them played, about the rock jugs and Miss Jones and Rosie's mama and John C's mom, and they just, it was just a packed house at Cedar Bluff back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling somebody the other day, I was telling Jerry this, Mobley. I think it's NFHS.
Mm-hmm.
People can watch it on TV now. Well, they wouldn't know. You couldn't watch it on TV.
No.
Do you think that's hurt attendance at football games? It has to.
I think it has.
It had to. I'm just trying to figure out why the attendances are down at some.
No knock against them.
No, not at all.
I talk to somebody every week that.
I'm just trying to figure out why.
Somerville.
Why is it lower?
Up in Somerville, that was just going to watch the game online.
That's what I'm saying.
I ain't going over there.
I know.
Obviously, you're going to always have fans.
Well, it's like $8 a month.
Yeah.
A month. You know how many games you could watch in a month on NFL? A lot. And it's $10 to step in the gate. Ticket prices and NFHS, I think, is what's hurt our crowds.
It's poor crowds. At big games.
I think it's ticket prices and NFHS. I may be wrong. It's only my opinion. It's
maybe not home games,
like
but
everybody's
traveling.
got one.
Well, I'm gonna watch that. I'm just gonna watch it.
3-hour drive. What?
See, Chattooga played 5 hours away the other night.
No, I was telling somebody about how Georgia lines that up. Like,
yeah, Cedartown had to go about 7 hours away 1 week.
Yeah, Cherokee County.
Years ago.
You got Bibb County. Huh?
Yeah.
You got to drive to Bibb County. Whoa. Oh, wait a minute. You telling me that?
They don't do no north-south.
Like you're telling me. I know. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's not. Like Georgia, it may have to drive up here to play Trinity Christian. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly.
Anyway, 1A Dean, Berry will host. They will host Wadley. Berry will host Wadley, and then we'll have Hackleburg at Lynn. Those games.
That'll be a good game.
What do you think?
I think Hackleburg and Lynn will be a great game.
I do too.
I do not. I think Wadley.
Massey likes Wadley by 20. I swear they had.
Wadley's just tough.
They were up 28-0 against Meek, like in the first quarter, first half.
I think Berry will play hard and play them good, but I don't think it'll make no difference.
Well, Wilkes and that other tailback, it just is what it is. Yeah. I mean, it's just their year right now.
Well, they're going away. Is there a chance?
They're favored to beat Elba.
Yeah.
By Massey, not by Matt. Massey. MasseyWritings.com. Go check it out.
I think Wadley wins that. What about? I think Liam wins because they're at home.
I just probably would think home team. What are you guys thinking?
Hackleburg's good.
Do you think if Hoover wins, championship could make a Chip English and the permanent head? I don't know.
Well, I know this for
Aniston will travel to. Yeah, I know. Ain't that going to be a game? We're going to talk about that.
Appalachian was not a bad football team this year.
No, they sure not.
And Lynn did not have They beat them 2 touchdowns.
Southwise, Dean. Georgiana's at Elba. Our buddy Andrew, if you're on, shout out Andrew at the Powerhouse Sports. He liked Georgiana last week to win that game, and some people did not. Maplesville's at Millry, a blue blood powerhouse. What we like to say, Maplesville. You would probably like the computer pick would probably be Maplesville and Elba.
I would think Maplesville and Elba.
I think that'd be a.
Millry's been better the last 3 years.
They have. We had a guy
3 straight years.
We had a guy that used to come on. Remember last year, his son played at Millry.
Is it their time?
I hadn't heard from him this year, so he may have graduated.
I don't think Elba gets beat. I'll just go on to tell you that right now.
The computer Wadley favored by 1 over Elba.
By 1. I just don't think they're rolling right now.
I know.
He had 231 yards the other night.
Alvin?
Yeah, he's got 3,097.
Well, we'll find out because Georgiana can play some defense now.
And I didn't realize Elba got put out in the 4th round right at the end last year.
Yeah.
I did not.
Was we watching that game? Remember, we was watching on Namath's phone. Who was that we was watching?
That was Real Town and BB Comer.
BB Comer. Man, we was watching on the phone there last year. We was me and you and Namath and Coach Short and John. 2A Dean, what do you like?
I like Real Town, but now Cottonwood must be for real. I'm sorry. What's our buddy's name?
JB. He's on here.
JB. Is he? JB.
They host Cottonwood. I think Real Town is probably his favorite.
I'm going to pick Cottonwood.
Okay.
12-0.
Well, they ain't played Real Town yet. Tell them, JB. Come on with it.
Real Town has come on, and we know Real Town has a star player in Tay Martin down there.
I like them.
But, Cottonwood's just hammering folks.
And Arrington is going to host Highland Home.
7-5.
What a fighter. I love it. Somebody come on from Arrington and tell me, gosh darn, about the Rocky story.
5-5 and you're in the 3rd round.
I love it. That's great. That's what books are written about. Come on, Arrington.
I think they're done.
What a great story. Yeah, Highland Home's just smashing people.
Yeah.
Up here in North Winston County is going to be at Sulligett, home of retired Alabama legend Rashad Johnson. Shout out to his daddy, Big Randy Johnson, that run the Heister shop up there in Sulligett, Alabama. Shout out to the Johnson family and Big Randy.
Hope you know what I heard about that area up there? I might have said it on the show last week. Bingo halls all over the place.
Yeah, they love it.
Just not like 2 or 3, like 6 or 7.
Yeah, they love it. Huh. I know a guy that retired up there with Randy's daddy. But with Randy. Pisgah, I don't.
You think Winston County beat Sulligett?
I'd assume so. I hadn't seen them play. Winston County's always in the playoffs. Their name's mentioned in every year.
12-0.
Tuscaloosa Academy hosting Coach Pruitt from Pisgah. They're going to have to drive to Tuscaloosa Academy, and I have seen in person this quarterback. I have seen him play live with my 4 eyes. Dean, he's thrown about 2,000 last 2 years. He's over, I don't know, 2,000 this year already. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, he's left-handed. He can spin the bean. The ball, it's not even like his arm's not even moving. It's kind of like magic. Like it just kind of jumps off his hand. Remember how Tua threw the ball? It kind of jumps off the.
Yeah.
I
think they're going to be a hard out.
It will be. Hey, look, if Pisgah beats them, they're ready.
I don't think they will.
They're ready to go play a Highland home in real town.
I think it'll be Winston County and Tuscaloosa Academy.
Big
Highland home and Cottonwood.
So that game will probably be at Winston County then. Tuscaloosa Academy would have to go to Winston County.
That's tough. That's pretty even. That whole 2A is pretty even.
Very even. 3A South, Dean, what are you liking? Houston Academy beat Thomasville 45-33. Blew everybody's mind. Mine too. I had no clue that was going to happen.
I would think Miller, but I don't know. I'm going to stick with Miller. I mean, beat Thomasville 45-33.
Well, Houston Academy's they beat Thomasville. So what's your reward? Oh, you get to play Miller. Good luck. Bayside at Southside of Selma. Bayside's been in the playoffs. We've seen Coach Smith at Piedmont play them a lot of times, lots and lots of times.
I'm going to pick Selma. They're rolling right now.
Yeah, I noticed probably about toward the mid or toward the end of the regular season, they just started winning. They got it on a roll. Mars Hill will be hosting Winfield. That Winfield team played a good game over there at Sylvania, and Coach Little and them, they, had a good shot with them. And then Coach Smith, Geraldine Bulldogs, took toe-to-toe fight. They beat Mars Hill last year, put them out. Well, this year it went Mars Hill and Coach Higgins' way. So Mars Hill will be at Winfield. Mars Hill will host Winfield. So
I'm going to go with a big upset right there. That would be Winfield, would it not?
I don't know.
That's pretty much a pick-em, isn't it?
I don't know, yeah.
It's like all these games. These are some good matchups this year.
Home team. Mars Hill's going to be at home. That's a beautiful campus. Great, big, nice scoreboards, and they got a real nice campus up there. Coach Higgins has done a great job up there. Bull riding, Butterbean fighting.
He fought Butterbean?
They did some exhibition stuff together, yeah.
I'm going to go with Winfield. Sorry, Coach Higgins.
Please don't punch Todd. 5 at Piedmont. That's probably where we're going to wind up over there.
I don't know. How can you pick against
I don't
5?
know. Well, let's do this. We'll do it right now live.
How can you pick against I'm
right now, live. Let me just scroll right here.
So Ryder Gibson comes in to replace Logan Anderson.
Ryder's good, man.
254 yards.
He's been good.
254.
Let's see.
Best game he's had in his career. Golly.
It's a good time. We're looking at Massey. Massey ratings, high school. High school ratings, running. Here you go. Matchups. Hit that button up there in the middle in the red. Go right there in that box and type in FYFFE. It'll come up 5 Alabama, USA. Then you go down there under it, PIED, Piedmont, not Piedmont, California. Make sure you hit the second one. I did that. I did that by mistake one time. It was like 62-12, and I was like, "What? How's Piedmont winning that game?" So that was Piedmont, California. Okay, Massey likes. Let me write this down. Massey likes 5, 30-28. 30-28 is Massey ratings. Wow. It's like 5 by 2. But now you can go over here on the side and go to a 3-game series and click submit, and it likes 542-35, 535-28, and then Piedmont. I can't see the other one. It likes 5 2 times out of. The other one says Piedmont. Oh, it's got Piedmont 47-6 on one scenario. Then it's got 542-35. Then it's got 535-28. 35-28 sounds like a normal high school game.
I just think it's even match. I think all 4 of these are just dead even.
Look, win probability: 52% for 5, 48% for 48% for
Piedmont.
For Piedmont. That's how close this is. They're talking about 2% difference. So Massey likes 530-28, and I have no idea.
That's a pick 'em. I mean, I just go with the flip a coin. I'm going to pick Piedmont, but just because they're at home, it's an even match.
Nearly, you just got to go with home teams in this. Yeah. So, lastly, and then we'll click through 5, 6A and whatever. But
there is a couple matchups in 5A I like.
4A South. Dean, let me tell you something here. How about 106 points to 0 points given up? What if that was your scoring for 2 rounds of playoff football? What if you won 106 to nothing?
And that would be Jackson.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
106 to nothing.
In the first 2 rounds.
And those teams are from regions 3 and 4 down there. They're not bad regions. Jackson's going to be hosting Tallahassee,
who's actually been playing very well.
St. Michael's beats Pleasant Grove. Boom. Huge shocker. 38-24. Coach Rivers and his son Gunner, quarterback at St. Michael's, will be at Fairfield, where they are favored by 12.
I like them to win that.
Yep.
He's over 3,000 yards this year in 12 games.
Well, when you got NFL plays going down the field against some 15-year-old, what? You mean that play where I run down the field like I'm lost? And the coaches, man, what are you supposed to know? How are you going to defend again? I mean, the defensive coordinator at Fairfield's going,
yeah,
I've been doing this I don't know him. I've been doing this for 22 years. He's running like double gun, Keno, zebra stripe left. I don't even know what, yeah. I don't know how to get my guys ready. So it seems nearly unfair. Does it not?
Yeah, I mean, he's been all pro before. He's played an AFC championship.
Philip Rivers played a lot of football.
And he never played in the Super Bowl, but he did play an AFC championship.
And guess who's trying to get his toe in the water down there? That's retired from the Battlehawks of St. Louis. AJ McCarron. He's trying to get in Coach High School because he played at
St. Paul.
St. Paul.
Yeah.
So anywhere in that Muscle Shoals, Orange area, Mobile, AJ's trying to, if a job comes open down there, he would like to take a job down there.
I think we're going to see a St. Michael and Jackson matchup, and wouldn't be shocked if St. Michael going to be Pleasant Grove 2 touchdowns.
Jeff says that Bowden has the toughest road trip next week. They'll travel to Thomasville, 250 miles away. Thomasville is just north of Tallahassee. Ben, what's up? Mars Hill had one player out with an injury. Some players out sick against. Oh, okay. Tallahassee head coach has beat. Oh, yes, that's right. I'm glad he said that. The coach at Booker T. Washington is at Tallahassee that put Jackson out last year.
He must be a good coach.
I've seen he's a little skinny black guy, and I watched him talk to him.
Fiery.
Yeah, he's hard. I mean,
because I've never known Tallahassee.
He ain't putting up
to go this far.
He ain't putting up no crap. I heard him talking in the huddle. He ain't cussing or nothing, but he's just he's very motivational. He's very direct to the point. I love it, man. He had me fired up.
But you still don't think they're going to beat Jackson, do you? Let's see what Duckworth's stats are now.
Bro, it's 106 to nothing. Nobody's even scored on them in the playoffs. That's got to be – you got to mention that.
Yeah, I mean, they're not having much trouble.
Now, here's one that I'm really interested in, and I have a sneaky feeling, and I'm going to just look it up too, Dean, because I have not done that. I probably should have done that, and I just kind of –
Who beat Jackson?
Saraland.
Oh.
By a touchdown.
Never mind.
By a touchdown. It was a good game. Jeez. Let's see. Massey ratings, high school football.
They average 400 yards a game.
Let's see about this. Here's one, Dean. This is one you've been wanting to talk about. Now, I don't want to hear it now. You can't pull for Anniston. You had good hope beating them. You can't pull for Anniston.
No, I think Anniston's.
He thinks it's the end of the road for them.
I think it's the end of the road for them.
Oh, crap.
I think we'll get a rematch of Cherokee County and West Morgan and Jackson St. Michael's matchup.
I'm very Anniston, Alabama. Watch this, Dean. WEST West Morgan, Trinity, Alabama. Who we liking this in? They like West Morgan 28-20.
Boy, Anniston, my gosh, what a turnaround! What's Anniston's record now? They 8-4. What a turnaround!
Well, it's a good time to get hot.
They're scoring in the 40s.
They're good against everybody. I mean, we did this earlier with Cherokee County and Brooks. I think. What did I have?
Wow.
It showed me.
You don't want to mess with Anderson.
I know, man. It's a good time to be hot. West Morgan. Oh, I had West Morgan. They had Cherokee County and West Morgan 31-26. Cherokee County. Okay. But that's not. It's not this week. This week they got Brooks. It's about the same. They're gonna be favored by about 2 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. So we'll give you stats on Cherokee County players. Congratulated the Spring Garden seniors. Give you their stats. We went through 1 to 4A. We'll give you some stats about some of the guys from the South and where we're at. We will look at 5A, and then we will.
We got the game of the century in 5A, man. Central Clay at Montgomery Catholic.
Ramsey at Moody. Good Lord.
That'll be a good one, too. What do you think about that Central Clay at Mont Catholic?
That'll be a good one. Leeds is going to be at Corner. These are the North games. UMS Wright at Viger.
Yeah, I noticed UMS Wright did not have a great record this year, which is meaningless, apparently.
They beat Andalusia 7-6.
Yeah.
They won on that missed PAT. Wow, what a game that been at.
Viger's very good again.
Catholic has give up no points. They are winning 95-0 in
the playoffs.
In the playoffs.
In Central Clay, what do they average, I wonder?
Well, in the playoffs, they're averaging about 35.
They're good. Now they've not lost a game all year. That's gonna be a matchup. But Danny, I mean, don't be shocked if
Danny versus Juice.
Yeah, if Montgomery Catholic wins that.
Well, this will be like, and somebody can tell me if I'm wrong. I think this is like 44 straight games. They ain't lost. They hadn't lost since 3A state championship
to 5. They've not lost.
I don't think so.
I mean, they might not have.
I think I heard it's 44 something. I mean, we're talking about Ike Rowell.
If they they ain't lost much.
Brody Dalton, which has been at UAB now at Troy. I mean, for 2 years.
Yeah. Rowell started at UAB.
I don't.
They started 1 year.
Catholics won a lot of consecutive games. Had the best defense in the state last year.
Yes, 78 points.
So Catholic and Clay like that game.
That's a good one.
6A.
I like it. Who is in 6A? I know Fort Payne and Oxford. I think
Pike Road hosts Hueytown, and Saraland is Spain Park.
Pike Road and Hueytown. Jameis Winston and Quinshon Junkins high schools. If you don't think any talent comes out of there.
Hey, if you're around here and you don't want to go to Piedmont, go to Oxford. They're hosting Fort Payne. Battle of the quarterbacks. Mims and Vanderford.
Varnador.
Varnador versus Mims. Quarterbacks. Coach Sam Adams and head coach at Fort Payne.
I got to look up Varnador stats.
And Parker, which has Naheem Alford, that's committed to Ohio State as of now. Fantastic defensive player. Heck, he even comes in at Wildcat. He plays during receiver.
I think he's
great.
Who do they play?
Muscle Shoals.
That's in 6A. Parker's very good.
Very good.
Which they didn't even play Carrollton bad.
No.
Let's see the stats on Fort Payne football.
7A, Central Phoenix, as of course, will be hosting Hoover Bucks with Coach Trent Richardson. They're coaching the running backs at Hoover. And then Enterprise will be traveling on up the road to Thompson after Thompson beat the highly favored Auburn High School 34-21. Very surprising at that. I was very surprised at that game.
That did surprise me too.
Because Andrew and a lot of the guys, Powerhouse and Floyd and them, the computer, I mean, Massey had Auburn picked. They all kind of felt like it's Auburn's turn this year to like Thompson hadn't played that good. But you go look at who they've played, and they lost to like Lipscomb Academy. They lost to
was it Grayson? Grayson, Georgia, by 1 point.
Was it Grayson or did they play?
Yeah, I think it was Grayson. It was Grayson or Roswell or one of them.
No, wasn't it the team where Niblett's at?
No, that they played Moody. They beat Moody.
Okay, right there.
And they got put out in the first round. Gainesville did.
Gainesville's already out?
Yeah.
Who put them out?
I don't know, but they did put them out.
Valdosta is smoking Walton right now. That's Friday. Their state championship game is a week after Alabama's.
Yes.
It's going to be back in the Dome again.
Really? Again?
Yes, they're going to be.
I've seen some messing with that.
Well,
I know. How'd they even go from there?
I don't know. Remember, we got to see Trevor play before they tore it down that time. So I may not to go. We may try to go over there.
I don't know how you. It's so dang high to go in there now.
If they got some good matchups. God, it's so crowded. It's so busy in those Georgia State championship games.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad.
You better eat before you go, boys. Hey, if we go this year, I will have a bologna sandwich in my pocket. I'm not paying $8 for a hot dog.
No.
Let's see here. Leeds
and Corner. That'll be
Leeds, the host corner. Yeah, we talked about that one. West Morgan and Anniston have never. That is correct. I did read that. They've never played each other. They play Monday through Wednesday, the 16th and the 18th. Thank you, Coach Bun. What are you doing, you old rascal? I guess he'll be at Piedmont Friday.
Sounds like I would think. What if
I'm headed to going to Oxford.
Bun, you never.
Well, the last time me and Sarge went, we went to Oxford, seen them play Moody. Hour and a half delay. Storm didn't even blow on us. It went south of Oxford.
Moody, didn't it?
Closely.
Yeah.
Moody played them good. Moody's got a good football team, man.
Oh, yeah.
They got a cornerback that's going to Tennessee. I watched him that night. I talked to his dad accidentally coming out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Just randomly. Stopped there at the gate, and I was saying, propped up on the fence, and I said, hey, man, how's it going? I said, y'all got a good football team. I know you ain't winning this game, but he said, well, that's my son there, so-and-so number. I was like, what, really? I just was reading about him. Is he going to Tennessee? So that's where he's looking right now. So y'all got a good football team.
Oh, yeah.
Moody's got because Oxford's good, man.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Coach Adams, I say it every time I talk about them. Their offense is amazing. It's fun to watch.
Right.
And I don't want to use the word circus because that would seem like I'm making fun of them. It's just screen left and screen right. You got that Wynn kid and a Richardson kid. It's just hard to know what they're going to do next.
Yeah. Very talented, huh?
Throw left, throw right, run up the middle, draw play action, middle screen, top screen, over the top, slant. I mean, it's like playing a video game. Like he just goes through every play. He's got like 12 plays, and he just runs them 12 down the field. It's amazing. It's crazy to watch. Oxford will beat Fort Payne by 20, says Coach Bun there. Moody is good on. They are good on defense. Oxford beats Fort Payne bad. That's what he's picking.
Yeah. I mean,
it could be.
Oxford's beat everybody bad. Pretty much.
We've been on an hour. We don't have a player of the week this week. Ain't that weird?
No. Well, this week it's going to be Ryder Gibson.
Ryder Gibson up there at 5. I guess, Cherokee County line, offensive guys, shout out to y'all. Y'all have busted your tail all year long. There's no way, and Tay and Tristan and Keyshawn will be the first to tell you, there's no way they can do what they do without y'all.
No.
And they have gelled together. Dean, we've got new guards, and you got Big James there at center.
Yeah.
Okay. And his mama and them and his mom love them so much. They're the sweetest people. And it's good to see how they've gelled. I mean, game one, I think, hit them by surprise, and they were too fired up maybe. But to see how they've grown through the year, shout out Warriors. Your offensive line, man, people just kind of doubted.
Yeah.
See, I heard there's people on here like Detroit, and he don't know. I mean, it'd be like me talking about Op. I don't. He don't really know. He knows a little bit about what he hears. He's like, well, we kind of felt like with Cherokee County losing Jacob, like Cornejo, well, they'd kind of be done. I'm like, no, they got 3 running backs this year. And their offensive line, well, they lost their center. They knew about that. They had heard that. I lost their guard because Gaylor had he's at Huntington. They see pictures that I share. Shout out to them. Shout out to Corey Teague too. Senior day, had up there at and at Lindsay, and what a great career. We love you, CT.
Yeah, he did well.
Glad you got to finish and get your degree.
He ended up starting 2 or 3 years up there, did he not?
Yeah, I know he did too. Yeah, played right tackle.
Yeah, I mean that's good. That's a good team too.
Oh God, yeah,
very competitive.
Won a lot of football games. Yeah. So, to have new guard in the center and come in this year,
Well,
and they're kicking butt, man. I mean, Cherokee County's rushing for a lot of yards.
Well, according to the stats, they've rushed for over 3,100
as a team. Over 3,000 yards.
That's good. They average about 350 or 360 a game total.
Yeah.
But, I mean, 260 of that's rushing.
Yeah.
Or maybe more.
And you
270.
Now, last year, bless Tittle's heart. I mean, you can't help you got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
This time of year last year, now they got a guy. We got a quarterback now. This year they have somebody. He's going to throw it. You have opportunities to make things happen. And Carson, darn it, he just had the worst luck in the world. I hate that.
Oh yeah, I know.
And he's a good kid, man. I don't like to see bad kids get hurt neither. But
no, you don't want.
Well, he's a bad kid. I don't care if he breaks his nose. I don't mean that. I don't mean that. But anyway, shout out to them doing a great job this year.
I asked about
Big Landon Ransom. Been playing football since he's about 3. Hill Creek out first round. Mill Creek. Really?
Be like that guy I asked about one time. And he was a grown man. He wasn't a kid. And I said, what do you think about him? He goes, he'd probably be better off if somebody would just kill him. I mean, like he was a bad guy. He didn't want to see no success from him or not. So he was that bad of a person. Some
people just have vengeance in their heart. All right, guys. That's high school wrap. We'll go over here and I'm gonna go grab me a water and we'll come back. Gosh almighty, good Lord of mercy.
We got we got a little bit of college football to talk about.
Man, I'm telling you right now, I got about 6 games highlighted here, just some quick notes. Plenty to talk about. Y'all come back and hang out with us. Hang on, okay? Come right back. Hang on. Yow! What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Locker Room Sports Talk. Thank y'all for coming by and hanging out with us for a little bit of the day. Shout out to Cherokee Eye Clinic, JR and April McKenzick. Call them at 927-4030. Make an appointment or look them up on the net at Cherokee Eye Clinic. And thank you to Warrior Gym for making this part of our show possible. College football at its best right here. Go find out and find the Warrior and you at Warrior Gym. Talk to John at 256-266-4333. Easy walk-in entry to the door. Just have a code on your phone and you just go right in. It's very easy, very clean place. Tanning beds. Get your yearly membership. It's not very expensive at all. It's right up here in town. Real clean, nice little DDO right there. So I'm your host, Big Matt, co-host to my right, Diamond Dean. College football, Dean, week 12. Right out of the gate, let me first say East Carolina 38-31 over Tulsa. Quarterback
They're
coach
good.
314, and Harris ran the ball for over 115. I had to shout them out first.
They're good.
Yeah, East Carolina's always in our Raging Cajuns. We kind of rep them a little bit too. They're always got a good football team. So
calm down, boy.
Right off the bat, appreciate them. Dean, tell me about 27-16. The Gators close the doors at the Swamp, go in there and beat up on the Bayou Bengals.
Well, Lagway played.
Mm-hmm.
I was under the impression he wasn't going to play, but he did. He threw for 226 yards. Oh, is Brian Kelly on the hot seat? I wouldn't think so, but is he? He's lost 11 games there in 3 years, but he's won 26. I mean, they wasn't in the best shape when he came there. Let me look at how Nussmeier did.
I'm done with these things.
Oh, you done, brother? All right. I'll wait on you on that.
I think that for sure them – here's the thing. Can he win with his guys? That's a quick note I wrote down. I just wrote down, can he win with his? And what I mean by that, would you take a guy that's comes down there with a fake Southern accent, or would you like to rather have a guy that's homegrown down there and Coach O, and they run him off? He wins a national championship, and you run him off.
Yeah, pretty quick after he won it too. Pretty quick.
We had read, later, like through the winter, that something big was happening, and there was more to the story.
He was sneaking women in there.
Yeah, there was more to it, and that happens. And I don't mean to make light of it, but that happens at a lot of places.
Yeah, we'll see. That's what
Coach Freeze when he was at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Petrino when he was at Arkansas. I mean,
with that girl.
It's just something into where they feel like they can't get off the hook, and it just puts them in a bad spot. But what has he done with his guys? Didn't he win with those players? He come in the first year and won the West. Mm-hmm. He played for it, but he didn't win it.
Mm-hmm. He played for it, and they did good last year. They were doing good this year, but they've not done good the last 3 weeks. Not the last 3 weeks.
I'm confused.
Had some trouble. They had 400 yards yesterday.
Is he on the hot seat? What do y'all think?
I wouldn't think so. I had somebody ask
Peanut
me
gallery.
That. I don't think he should be yet.
Yeah, Florida could.
Who they got left?
Let's talk about that.
LSU schedule.
Now we always do this, and we
got Vanderbilt and Oklahoma.
I know we talked about this last week.
Go 7-5. I don't think they'll lose both of them.
You remember last week we said sometimes we get caught up in they just played terrible. Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes we just need to say, well, the other team played good.
Yeah, I think Napier needs to be off the chopping.
Tell me about Florida. What did you think?
I thought they played good. Rush 2 for 226. Lagway's good. Rush for 113.
Yeah, he's a football player.
But Lagway was the difference in the ball game and their defense. I mean, they got in the red zone. LSU did, but they didn't score.
They nested for
260. They held him down because he usually throws for more than
that. Yeah.
He threw one pick though.
No, they ain't got him for a pick.
They don't have him. Oh, they lost a fumble. My bad. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lagway threw for 226. They rushed for, a little over 100. Both teams didn't rush the ball very well.
No.
But they both, 226 to 262. I mean, they both passed the ball well. Let's take a look at Florida receivers right here. Badger, Dyke, Hanson, Livingston, Jackson, Boatingham, and also Mazzell. All these guys had catches.
About Florida's player. What's Florida's record now?
5-5. They need one more to get.
Who they got left? Let me see who they got left. They're going to be favored over Florida State.
They got Ole Miss and Florida State.
They could finish 6-6.
Well,
I don't think they'll beat Ole Miss.
I would think so.
But their schedule's been horrendous.
Oh, man.
But it's ended up not being as bad as they thought, and they've done well.
Yeah. So we talked about Coach Kelly on the hot seat.
I think Napier's off the hot seat.
The seats just swapped from the Bayou on down there to.
Yeah, and I don't think he's on the hot seat, but they're on him a little bit. I mean, there's no reason in even talking about firing this man.
Well, usually in recruiting that's where you got to be careful. You want to, in recruiting, where's he recruiting? Where's the class at? I just mentioned a while ago, LSU's in the top 8, top 10 in recruiting right now. They have Underwood, a big-time receiver, coming in. We talked about some recruiting. If y'all missed that,
struggled on defense.
I'll tell you right here, Auburn 6, Bama 4, Georgia's at 2 right now. Juju Lewis decommitted from USC. I think he's headed to Colorado. So as long as Coach Kelly's keeping the guys, you don't have to recruit super hard. LSU kind of recruits itself nearly a little bit. But did he come in thinking that, like, well, we recruit ourselves, by God, I ain't got to. I mean, and somebody said, well, he ain't Southern. I heard one LSU fan comment, well, he ain't want to. Well, let's talk about the winningest coach ever. Nicholas Saban, that is, Roll Tide. West Virginia.
West Virginia, yeah.
Grew up with Jimbo Fisher. Right. They don't have any draw of their voice at all. They grew up in the mountains of the Appalachian coal mining area, very country, very run down. His dad run a store. They were common middle salaried people. His dad just had a store and coached football there in town, Coach Pop Warner. Nick Saban's not a Southern guy.
No.
But what made him different?
Well,
he was genuine.
West Virginia is kind of considered a little Southern, is it not?
Well, it's way north from here.
Well, I think it. You know what I think it is? Where did Kelly come from?
Notre Dame, Cincinnati.
Yeah,
he's a northern guy.
Then Notre Dame. No.
Yeah,
I think it's just because he's from Notre Dame. Alabama, Auburn fans, everybody in the South hates Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
Most people.
Yeah.
Now, I got a friend that works across the hall from Mitchie too that loves Notre Dame.
Wow.
I don't know. He's always liked them. And I don't hate Notre Dame, but a lot of people do.
What's the connection there?
Now I got to find that out.
Like, did your uncle from Indiana or my Aunt Margie, she moved up there when I was 8. And I used to go up there and ice fish.
I'll ask him this week.
Like, what's the connection there?
He loves them.
Is he older than us? So could he be another Joe?
Middle. He's about our age.
So could he be a Joe Montana fan? Because you've got to be 50 plus to be a Joe Montana fan.
He's probably 47.
He's not a Joe Montana fan because he was been quarterback there when he was born.
Lou Holtz fan. And I kind of like those Lou Holtz.
Sure, absolutely. Oh, I can dig a team, but I'll never pull for Tennessee or Notre Dame. That's the teams I'll never pull for.
I've never been a big Miami fan. Sorry, Barry Rice.
No, I did. No, I had the hats and I had it's just what it was. They were the dancing, smart Alex, just scoring everybody. Michael Irvin, they were great, man. From Irvin young team to the Shockey. Wow, what a team. But Florida, take care of business.
No, big win for Napier.
LSU's out. They're done.
Huge. Yeah.
Done.
They're done.
I don't want to hear nothing else about it. And that's what kind of.
Now, they'll go to a bowl.
Yes, obviously. Absolutely. But that's what kind of peed me off. I got sick of hearing
that they're going to be in this top 10.
They're going to make SEC play championship game. Shut up. They're not. No, they're not.
No, they're not. And they're definitely
not now. Now, Mizzou falls 34-30 to South Carolina. I kind of watched that a little bit as we were getting ready to leave and got to see. I thought the game was going to go to overtime or something, man. That
both teams had 400 yards.
Beamer ball.
463. Matt Sellers, is he the newcomer of the year?
He's got to be something. Somebody's got to talk.
I mean, I know people. Oh, Ryan Williams. Look what this guy's done. 398 yards against Missouri. Now, Williams can be rookie of the year, freshman of the year for the conference, but this Sellers has got to get something. Linares Sellers. Sanders had another good game. I saw where Nick, what is his dang name? He was highly touted out of high school. What?
Price for who?
Plays for South Carolina, receiver for South Carolina. Nick, he caught the touchdown against Alabama at the end. Arbor. He had a good game. South Carolina's got a good football team.
Yeah.
And they nearly beat Alabama. Look at here. Let's just look at this right quick. They beat Vanderbilt. They beat Missouri. They beat Texas A&M. Hammered Oklahoma there. Barely lost to Alabama. Now, Ole Miss beat them good.
Who did you say the kid was?
Nick Arbor.
Number 8. From Washington, D.C.
He's not caught a lot of balls this year, but he averages a lot of yards per catch.
16 receptions for 216, 13 on average. 6'5", 235.
he's supposed to be. They say if he ever gets going, he's unstoppable, but he may be hampered. They beat Kentucky. They lost to LSU, Alabama, and Ole Miss.
Well, Sellers throw the ball to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different people.
9 different people.
That's the same thing Beck did. That's what helped them win that game.
Here's their stats right here.
353 yards passing.
Woo. Wow. He's thrown for, Matt. He has thrown for 1,800 yards. See, but they usually run the ball.
86% QBR rating there.
He's runs for 436.
14 touchdowns, 5 picks. Overall QB rating at 65.6. And what was the NFL guy told us? If it's 65 or better.
What's his overall?
65.6.
Okay. You're doing good.
Yeah.
Rocket is back.
Oh, God, what a run there at the end of the game to win the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a load, man.
749 yards rushing, 229 receiving. Oh, man. He's a good player. They still got Clemson left.
Rockledge, Florida, 150 carries for 800 yards, 10 touchdowns, averaging 5 a carry. I'll take that all day. And a bag of boiled peanuts with a Cajun sauce to go.
Hey, I'm proud of him. I liked him 2 years ago when he led the SEC in rushing.
Yeah, we're Rocket fans.
We're Rocket fans, and then he's hurt last year and didn't do very well.
They got Wolford and then Clemson. Can they beat Clemson?
I think they go away. Yes. Yes, they can.
All right.
God, how big would that be if they win 9-3?
That'd be another win. It wouldn't be a conference win for either one, but
no, I mean, and they're out. I mean, we know that.
Yeah, but they've had a
great year.
If he wins that caps off.
That's the second time he's had a good team.
How many wins they got now to say?
They'll be 8-3 after this week.
So they could win 10 games if they beat Wolford and Clemson. Yeah. Beamer ball is on fire.
It's the second year in his 3 years that he has had a good team and was not supposed to have a good team. You remember the year they beat Clemson and Tennessee back-to-back weeks, and they lost to Notre Dame in the bowl game, and that game was good.
Yeah. So overall, we think Beamer's doing a good job.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Special teams, his dad was a special teams guy.
Yeah.
I seen them run a little reverse, like they'll have a guy running back across the field, stuff like that. I like the play calling that they had set up for him, that he had going there. Sellers had a good game. It was a good run pass mix. They threw the ball a lot, and they very much so took advantage of Mizzou's defense. Them losing their defensive coach, which don't seem like he's doing any better over at LSU right now.
No, he's struggling there, which I don't know that LSU's got the defensive players that
they just don't.
Had.
They have some on the line that's pretty good, but it's a tough spot for them. So I think South Carolina ends on a good note. And Cook, Luther Burton had a great – you see that one catch he made?
Yeah.
Good Lord, man. It's like that catch that guy made at Mercer against Bama. Do you see that one on the highlight? He just – I mean – it's like he could have closed his eyes. He just stuck his hand up and caught it. And I mean, there's 2 guys over there. He just dropped it he put that football in that cup from about 40. But I don't know. South Carolina, is it a failed year for them?
No, definitely
not at all.
No,
okay.
No. I mean, let's just face it, man. If Alabama hadn't turned the heat up there on that last drive and brought everybody, I think they'd have beat them 28-27. If they'd have played prevent and just let him dink and dunk down the field, they'd have kicked the field goal and beat them.
And Missouri had some players out against Bama.
They did.
Tailback didn't play.
Now, I think Alabama could have beat them anyway.
Cook was in and out, played most of the first half. But so, hey, look, man, Beamer ball is alive and well. But, I mean, next year, and I've just seen them in recruiting. They're recruiting like number, 15 or 16 in recruiting. They got.
Yeah, he does a good job there, man.
We're fired up about that
like
one. Oregon 16, Wisconsin 13. What is going on? Why are they still number one?
How is that? Wisconsin had 225 yards. What? Okay, I will say this. Tez Johnson didn't play. Did that hurt him that bad? The receiver that's so good, he didn't play.
That's so stupid.
He's out.
They got to get off this train here around this clown show.
Oregon. I mean, they struggle. Maybe it's a hard place to play up in Madison.
I Let's see here.
Clown show.
What is going on up there?
Hey, they say it's
Close
hard to
the
go
ads.
undefeated. Are they the only undefeated team left?
All right, Oregon and we got the AP poll up there. Y'all look at that there for a second. We'll talk about the Oregon game. Obviously, 96 yards passing wasn't enough for Locke at Wisconsin. A touchdown and a pick. Gabriel threw for over 200 and threw a pick. He had no passing touchdowns, and he had no rushing touchdowns. He contributed 0 to the win. How did Wisconsin shut them down?
They just got a good defense.
Against who? Alabama smoked them.
Yeah, they did. They did. This was the best game they've played. They're 5-5. Who all this?
Bama beat them 42-10.
42-10.
Let's just take a
How many
gander
yards
here.
did Alabama have against them?
407. So Bama rolls up 407 on the Pokies up there at Wisconsin, the Badgers.
Barely beats them.
And Oregon, Gabriel couldn't do nothing, run it or throw it.
Is he out of the Heisman race now?
I never thought he was in it.
I thought it was him and Hunter.
He's. I think that last week too kind of put a damper on him. He's just not. He's not in the Heisman. I hadn't heard anybody say his name anymore.
Really?
Everybody's talking about Genty and Hunter.
Genty and Hunter. Okay. What about Ward? Ward still in there?
I've heard some people mention him too.
Let's see Heisman talk. Heisman finals.
Jordan James, 25 carries for 121. He carries the team with a touchdown, and that's all they had. Pretty much they kicked field goals and got a touchdown late. Dude, they go in at halftime. They're down 10-6.
I know. They
What
nearly
is
lost
going
this ball
on?
game. It says Gabriel did fall, and Hunter come up. Genty.
I
like
just
you
can't.
said.
I
And
can't.
Gabriel third, but
I don't know. And let's go back here. I'm just disappointed in the whole thing.
Ward third.
You can't keep rewarding these guys. They nearly lose to Boise. Boise should have lost to Nevada. If Nevada fumbled like the Warner, they'd have beat Boise. Finally, BYU loses. And they've been hanging on all year. They've played about 4 close games with some bunch of jackwagon squads. This rating is ridiculous.
Listen to this. Gabriel's 4, Milroe 5, Curtis Rourke, Indiana 6, Jackson Dart 7. That's the top 7.
Okay. What do you think about the AP? You seen it any?
Okay, I agree with 1, 2.
Oregon podcast listeners.
3 and 4. Indiana, I mean, you got to have them up there, but that's going to change this week.
Oregon, Ohio State, Texas 3, Penn State 4, Indiana 5, Notre Dame 6, coming up 2 spots. Alabama jumping 2-7.
Why is Miami 11?
Georgia coming up 3 spots to 8. Ole Miss up 1 spot to 9. Tennessee drops 4 places to 10. Miami 11 up 1, and Boise up 1 to 12.
Who's the first one out? SMU.
Well, this is just the AP. That don't mean nothing.
That don't mean that's not the committee.
No, that'll be Tuesday night.
I agree with it for the most part. I don't.
BYU dropped 7 places to 14. SMU is 13.
They're probably done. SMU.
Colorado and A&M are tied for 15, pretty much, sort of tied in points.
Colorado bumping on up, huh?
Yeah. Hey, look,
Clemson
man.
with a big win. Boy, they nearly lost to Pitt.
Army drops 2.
They're fixing to play
Navy got destroyed too.
Yeah, Tulane beat them 35-0.
I'm
kind of shocked me.
I'm a Tulane guy. I want to put Tulane in this. Yeah. Everybody's screaming Boise State, and that's fine.
I love Tulane.
They got a good tailback in Genty, but when they come play Ole Miss or Tennessee, they're going to get waxed. Mm-hmm. That'll be the end of it. You don't hear nothing else about Genty. The same thing with Tatayao, Notre Dame. He's the greatest player to ever play football. Eddie Lacy walked over him in the title game. He had no tackles. He was a complete absence in the game. He was way overhyped, just like I said he was.
Do you agree with the top 10? For the I don't understand. I mean, boy, they're hammering Miami, aren't they?
Tulane 20, Arizona State 21, Iowa State 22, 23, UNLV showing up.
They're good. I mean, they're not going to make the playoff, but they've got a good football team.
Grandmama.
UNLV's got
Larry
a good
Johnson.
football team.
If you're not old enough, you don't
What's
know. I'm sorry, you don't know.
Grandmama.
Larry Johnson, basketball star.
Pretty good.
J.R.
Ryder.
Wow, he was great. First under the leg dunk in a contest. Illinois 24, Washington State 8-2, and Washington State plays. Let me look real quick. They have where's it at? Washington State. Gosh darn it! This thing. There's so many ads popping up in and out, and you can't find the election. No, I don't want it to. New Mexico. Next game at Oregon State. That may be interesting for them. Now, Oregon, anyway.
Yeah, that's not a good showing by them, but I would
like
say that they were looking pretty good before that
Don't
game.
like it at all.
But, God, they looked amazing versus Ohio State.
Let's see. Next game on the list here.
Amazing.
Golly.
Which I know we're not going to talk about it.
We seen this girl in the store when you said that, made me think about this.
What's that?
We was putting out. I was helping Tori. We was putting out chips over the store, and just seen this lady. She was kind of coming down the aisle. We was kind of going by. Hey, good morning. How you doing? Amazing.
What was wrong with
5:30 in the morning. I was like, oh Lord.
She a Texas fan?
I'm
just kidding.
Yeah, I don't.
5:30.
Yeah, it's early, man. We're over there working. I'm just toting boxes and we're working. And then, hey, good morning. You're speaking to. I don't even know who. I really didn't pay attention. I'm just. It's a lady. I'm just being polite.
Right.
Amazing. I was like,
hey, good.
He looked up. People look up over the shelf like.
Most people at 5:30 in the morning are miserable.
Not amazing. Maybe a third shift person. Now
I think Texas looked great.
They're sputtering along, man. They're fixing to run into theirs. Quinn Ewers, he didn't even throw for what do you have 170?
Yeah, they didn't
impress you at all.
No, not yesterday. Did you think they just kind of took the game a little lightly? You think Arkansas played good? Arkansas didn't have it. The Texas defense played well.
Well, they're good. I mean, their defense is pretty good. They are.
What did Green that sacked him a lot?
5 for 12 on third downs. That'll cost you a football game. 315 total yards, 20 for 32 on completions. Texas run the ball for 140. Arkansas only run the ball for 80 yards. That'll, they were both had 2 penalties. Time of possession pretty same, but the ball game was decided turnovers.
How many yards did Texas have?
300.
It's modest.
Yeah, but Arkansas is not bad. They beat Tennessee.
No, they're not, and it was at Arkansas. But I mean, Texas didn't look like world beaters against them. They just didn't.
Yeah, see, Green didn't rush for any. That's what lost them the game. To me,
I think
that's what lost them the game.
Texas was better last year than they are this year. I'll just go on record saying that straight up. I think they were better last year, and they nearly went to the national championship game. They were down there.
Washington beat them,
but they were down at the 10 or 12 as time expired. He had 4 shots at the end zone, and hats off to Washington. They covered him well, but I think they're better. I don't think they're as good this year as they were last year. They lost. I mean, they just lost players. They lost all those receivers.
The big guy in the middle up there, the Collins guy, he had 7 tackles, 2 for a loss, and then Barron, one of their rusher guys, had 2 for a loss also. But, the Dix Jr. kid and Clark and Worth.
Did Bond do anything?
Arkansas played good up front.
Did Bond do anything?
He led the team with 48 receiving yards.
He's had a modest year.
He had a 20 long, so he had 3 catches for 20 yards because one of them went for 20.
Okay. 4 for 48.
3 into 28 is 7. 7 3 is 21, right? Yeah. So
he's not had a bad year, but I don't think they're as good as when they had A.D. Mitchell and Xavier Worth.
No, God, no. Nobody can be that.
And I think Sarkisian's done a good job. I don't think their schedule's been extremely.
I like the Jaden Blue kid.
Difficult. Yeah, Blue's good.
23. He's from Houston, 6 foot 200 junior, 500 yards, 5 touchdowns this year.
Mm-hmm.
I like him.
I like him too.
I like C.J. Brown, one of the number 17 Arkansas. Good player. He's from out there in Arkansas. Watched him play some. It's number 17. And then they have a real tall kid that makes plays.
Arkansas's got to get one more win.
Yeah.
And they'll go bowling.
Yeah, I don't.
Which Vanderbilt.
Since we're going to speak about hot seat, they're going to play.
I'm sure he's on it.
They're going to play Louisiana, and then they got Missouri to end of the year. And they're talking about Pittman, but Petrino.
He beat Tennessee.
New offense. You beat Tennessee. You got blowed out by Ole Miss.
You played Oklahoma State. Very good.
You played A&M close. You beat UAB and Auburn. That's nothing to hang your hat on. So the season just hasn't been real good for Arkansas.
No, and we didn't think it would be.
We had them winning 6 games.
6, I think. Yeah.
We thought they'd probably go bowling.
Still got that in here somewhere.
And they may probably still go bowling. We think they'll beat Louisiana next week and go bowling. They're going to be at Missouri.
Beat Louisiana.
And they may not beat Missouri. They might, though. Green, here's the secret to Arkansas. He's got to run the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's got to run the ball.
Oh, he can run it now.
He's got to, and he can.
Kind of like Milroe.
He's got to run the ball. Yes, Alabama
52-7, which we didn't expect.
3rd string, 4th string. I think the cheerleaders got some snaps.
He 500 yards.
Played everybody.
Yeah,
he literally
did the same thing.
He literally played everybody. I watched the Auburn game. Seen Kim Cohen made a awesome catch, but I know they don't have. I shouldn't do that. I'm not even going to do it to them. I'm not going to do it. I was going to say.
Well, I mean, it was they needed to win.
Pump the brakes, man. Cam had one. He had 100 yards on 8 catches. It's the first game he showed up all year.
It is, really.
It just is. And I don't want to be that. They don't have anything to celebrate. Most Auburn fans are not watching this. They're watching them play basketball. They're not watching football. If they
win one of these next 2, they'll have something to celebrate.
But they ain't even watching it all. They're watching basketball.
Yeah. Number 5 in the country.
Yeah, they're playing good right now.
Yeah, very good.
But their football fans are done. Everybody I talk to in town goes, I see you got an number 1 recruit class. What kind of fan is that? I mean, you don't show up to the football games. What does the football kids that you're trying to recruit, like, what's Alvin Henderson think? You don't have a good season, you're not going to come watch me play? Mm-hmm. No, because they're fair weather fans. Because they've had 5 consecutive bad years in football. They're not building up. They're trending down. They have a worse season this year than they did last year. Mm-hmm. They got to win. It's a positive thing happen. They got to win. So they have to celebrate that. Coach Freeze tries to get ready, and they got to go on and play Texas A&M.
Which won't be easy.
No, it will not be easy.
Texas A&M's got a very good team. Better than we had anticipated. I did not think A&M would be good.
They're 2nd SEC right now.
Milroe's getting on up there in stats, got 600 yards rushing. Alabama spread their stuff around. 600, 500 from Miller, 400 from Haynes. They've all 3 had good years.
319 passing. Everybody played. Austin Mack played. Even Dylan Lonergan come in and throw 6 balls for 23 yards. Jalen threw 2 touchdowns. He ran. He's the first – okay, I'm going to mess this up. First SEC player since I think it said 06 to have at least 3 rushing and 3 passing or something like, or 2 rushing and 2 passing in so many consecutive games in like 15 years.
Really?
He's breaking a lot of records that are like consecutive weeks of rushing and passing things, whatever it is. So Alabama cruises on, Dean. What do you think about the run game?
I think it looked better. They're starting to go to it more. That's 3 weeks in a row they've had against Missouri, against LSU, and now against Mercer. They've had a lot of yards rushing. I mean, what they have against LSU, over 200 against Missouri.
24 rush attempts.
What did they have yesterday? How many yards? 192, wasn't it?
Yeah, 189.
So, last 3 games, you're averaging over 200.
42 rush attempts.
You got 3 guys with over 400 yards. I mean, you can't beat that.
It was a good showing for Alabama. Come out and played well. There was a few times that they throttled back a little, some indecisiveness. I think the line, they did their job mostly. There was a few penalties. How many they wound up having?
I saw where Campbell's gotten 86 tackles this year.
6 penalties. Bama, y'all got to clean that up. Some of that stuff.
That's lower than it is Sometimes, though, right?
Well, in the refs, I got to say this. I done got on the ref.
Alabama's only had about 15 penalties in the last 3 games.
They just nearly made it impossible for Alabama to score one trip down there.
Mm-hmm.
They had to score 3 times. They scored 3 times and got 1 touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
He was down on the 1. Well, there was a false start. And people, even the guys on the TVs watching and going, I didn't see that. The head ref talked about one call, a pass interference call.
What in the world?
He was talking about one of the pass interference calls. But nobody wants to hear, if you're Alabama, you can't gripe about calls. You can't, but it is what it is. Bad's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you call the refs are good sometimes, but when it's just bad, man, it's bad.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say it's bad. But overall, they played a good game. There's things they could fix. I can find faults.
Oh yeah.
I don't care if I can be
faults.
Nick Saban. It's 40-0 at halftime, and he's going nuts because you find things that they need to work on. You're trying to win a title. We're not just trying to win Iron Bowl.
Right.
Now, Auburn, what I like their play calling better. I think the way they tried to move the ball around a little more, playing different players, and defensively, Auburn's not bad.
No, they're not at all. And they get a bunch of yards. They just have trouble scoring.
They're a top 30 team, and they have between the 20s, they move the ball, is about as good as anybody. But when it gets down the red zone,
boy, I tell you, Freeze really needs to win this game Saturday. Because I don't think they're going to beat Alabama. And the reason why is because we're where it is. Now, had that game been in Auburn, I don't know. I wouldn't count them out.
It's the like LSU and Bama rivalry, the guest is favored. 62% of the time, the traveling team wins.
Really?
And the Iron Bowl is 57% the traveling team wins.
Huh.
Bama plays better at Auburn usually, and Auburn plays good at Tuscaloosa. And they ain't got nothing to lose. They're like a dog with mange that knows they're fixing to get flea dipped, and they'll just bite you.
Right.
Because they know it don't matter.
Watch out. Yeah.
I'm they're going to put me in a bath anyway,
But I thought they both, they were supposed to win, and they both did. Neither game was close.
52-7. C.J. Miller for 44. Boise State, San Jose State, they went up taking care of business 42-14. Some other games, Dean, which ones you like? You got Colorado, Utah?
Yeah, 49-24.
What about that?
Over 300 yards. Hunter, a big day. Wow. They just dismantled them. They're 8-2, man. 8-2. Another game I liked.
Beat Utah. They're going to float around and play for the conference championship.
Yes, they are. It's looking like it.
Because Kansas State lost to Arizona State by 10.
By 10. Boy, Arizona State's ranked. I didn't know Arizona State was even any good.
I didn't.
I did not either. And, yeah. Kansas State's been on that line nearly losing here lately. And, man, I'm going to go and mention this because I know you want to talk about it. Kansas beats BYU. Kansas, 2 straight upsets. Kansas is 4-6, and they beat BYU 17-13, which that didn't shock you, did it?
If you're losing rushers 76 yards, I think you probably got a problem. Total yards, BYU 354. They rushed for 182. Kansas had 73 rushing, 2 penalties. They shared the ball about the same. BYU pretty much beat them in all statistical categories. Pretty much all of them, except on the scoreboard where it matters. Look, man.
And they had a chance to win that now. They were at the 15.
Okay. BYU. They lost this. They beat SMU by 3.
Yeah. SMU's only lost, right?
Yeah, they beat Wyoming by 20. They beat Kansas State by 30. They beat Baylor by 10. 9. Beat Arizona bad. And they won by 3 over Okie State, which is terrible.
Yeah, they're not doing well.
They win by 12 over UCF, which is falling apart. Utah has no players at all. They won by 1 off of a stinking PI call. Utah sacks their quarterback in the end zone on 4th down.
I did not know this.
Pass interference. We talked about it last week. I showed it Tuesday showed a clip of it. It's a terrible call. They call a 4th down sack. Ball goes to Utah. Game over. Utah gets the ball back, takes a knee, wins. Pass interference, defense. 1st down, BYU. 3 plays later, pa-boonk, field goal was good. They win.
Sacked him in the end
zone. Yeah.
And called a pass interference.
Yep.
Ooh.
So the AD at Utah, that was big news last week. He runs out to the ref on the field, shaking his finger in his face, goes in the meeting, calls out the refs, gets fined $40,000, and then said later he'd pay another $40,000 if they'd fire the refs.
Fire the refs, huh? Calm down, boy. It's not.
BYU's is a pathetic joke. They're about as bad as Indiana. I'm done talking about them. They got Arizona State at 2:30 on ESPN, and they play Houston, which they could easily.
Houston can upset somebody in a heartbeat.
They could easily win both those games.
They could, yeah.
I don't think both those teams have a combined record of Houston's won 4 games, and I think.
But they upset somebody who I don't know who it was. It may have been K-State.
And Arizona's won. They're 8-2. Arizona State.
I did not realize that. I did not. That's how much we keep up with the. It's just hard to keep up with the West. I mean, they don't play till 9.
They're 8-2. They're 5-2 in the conference right now. They're just right behind Colorado.
Wow.
They're favored to beat BYU 55%.
Huh.
They are a 3.5-point favorite right now.
At home?
Yeah.
Wow.
Next week.
I would think. I mean, it sounds like BYU's not got a bad team. I think your problem was having them ranked so high. You're not going to sit here. I mean, you've never told me they're terrible. They're not any good. But your problem was with
nobody.
Your problem was with them being ranked number 7
or
6,
15 or 4. They don't.
Yeah,
I'm trying not going to get hung up on this.
But
we still got
another Indiana.
We
got a very good team. But are they top 10?
Oh man, stop it! We're not rewarding teams for playing hard records. I don't want to hear anybody from the North say, "Well, we play 9 conference games. The SEC only plays 8 because 8 we play are ranked." That's why the 8 teams that we play are ranked. Tell me the Big Ten guys that are ranked. Do we go down the list?
Ohio State and Penn State, right?
Oregon and Indiana, those 2, and Ohio State and Oregon, Penn State.
Illinois may be 24.
I don't know if they're even ranked. I don't think they are. All of them's come out. Arizona State and all of them come in this week. So you got like 4 teams ranked. South Carolina could finish 2nd or 3rd in the Big Ten. I put money on they finish 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Would you think so?
I think it's possible, yeah.
Could Tennessee win the Big Ten?
They could finish 2nd.
Okay. And those are
– I don't think they beat Ohio State. But.
Those are middle teams. They're 2 lost teams in the conference, and they could go to the Big Ten and maybe win it.
Mm-hmm.
On a good day, Georgia and Alabama could.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Those 2 could.
Texas destroyed Michigan, which is not a good tale because Michigan's not real good. They got to get them a quarterback. I don't.
But
I can't do it anymore.
That was the interesting games. Of course, we know what the most interesting.
Clemson and Pitt.
That was a good game.
Very good game.
50-yard touchdown run, right? I mean,
that's the one that set it off.
Wow, right there at the end.
That's the game. That's just that run was, like I mentioned earlier, kind of like Beck having a big run. It just kind of sets everything in motion.
Mm-hmm.
When you see the quarterback run, it just kind of inspires the team.
Yeah. And, he just ran a sweep, and he kind of got a seam there, and you're like, well, he's going to get the first down, and boom, he's gone. It's like he made another cut, and he was just gone. He showed some speed on it, to be honest.
Clemson's in it, man.
They've had a good year. I mean, they've lost, 2 or 3?
Mm-hmm.
But they've had a pretty good year.
They still got a shot to play for it, right?
Possibly. I don't think they'll get in, but they could.
They'll have to play, well,
they got South Carolina, and they're probably going to end up if they do play for it, play in Miami or somebody.
SMU.
Yeah.
Yeah, SMU, they're ahead of the conference, ain't they? I think they are.
I would think so. Now. Yeah, because their only loss was to BYU. They beat Pitt. Yeah, so they're winning it. Because Miami lost to Georgia Tech. Well, what do you think about the Georgia game besides Carson Beck having the game of his life?
Tennessee, Georgia Bulldogs, 31-17.
Tennessee come out 10-0.
Sampson runs for over 100.
Again.
I thought that would be good enough, but obviously Coach Heupel and crew could not get the defense adjusted and decided I think they just kind of played man all night. They just never – Beck threw for 350. They just never could figure it out.
Every time I looked up, there was somebody wide open.
Beck strikes to the right in the back pocket. Bam.
And he threw to about 9 different guys.
That was the heartbreaker in the last 7 minutes of the game when he threw that back to the back shoulder and Frazier goes in. Frazier's good.
Frazier, 68 yards. But, I mean, he threw to
everybody.
Smith, Delp, Lucky,
everybody
Humphreys, Lovett. Who's the other one? Bale, I think he was hurt. And ATM was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
456 yards. Tennessee only
Great
323.
When your right guard gets the bang out block here to go in the end zone.
Yeah.
What's the fullback right here? Bam. That's just old timey. Line it up. Good. Here comes Tim Grace. It's just Doug Pikes blocking, and here we come downhill.
Well, Walker had a good game for Georgia, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did you think Nico looked good at all?
He's just been that way all year, man. He's just spotty.
Yeah, he is.
And you keep making excuses, not we, but just media.
Let's see how many yards Sampson's got now. Sampson's up there.
I just don't. At some point, we got to quit saying they're just young.
Yeah,
he's played a lot of football.
Well, they did that with Kentucky basketball, and people got tired of it. Okay, we're tired of hearing that.
Dylan Sampson's rushed for 1,200 yards, 21 touchdowns, averages 5 yards a carry on 220 carries. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and how he got out of there.
He's best back in the conference.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd have to be. Who else would it be? Sanders? Him and Sanders?
Him and the Kelsman had a rushing touchdown. Nico scored a 75 on his QBR. He was 20 for 33, 167 yards, no picks, no touchdowns.
He scored a 75?
Yeah, 20 for 33. But here's the problem.
Terrible.
Well, here's why, though. Did you see his name in the Russian group? I don't.
No.
That's why they lost. Same reason Arkansas lost. Look, man, we're just going to have to face it, whether you like it or not. It's the day we play, and you got to have a running quarterback. And what helped Georgia go over there and play, good? Well, let me give you a stupid little stat right here. Carson Beck rushing 32 yards. That changed the game. A 32-yard rush.
32.
It just makes the offensive line go, yes. When your quarterback runs.
Who's not known as a runner.
He's not at all. What happened in the Iron Bowl last year? Thorne rushing over and over and over and over. He inspired the team, and Cadillac had them fired up, and they almost beat Bama. Mm-hmm. That's how you do it. There's no big secret. When Milroe gets to rolling, the team follows.
Yeah.
When he got hurt against somebody, South Carolina or something.
Yeah, he didn't play real. He struggled that game. Seems like there was a couple of games there. He's not struggling right now. Obviously, he didn't struggle against LSU, but yes, he's
2 touchdowns. There's the secret. No picks for Beck.
No picks. First time in a while, right? 6 games. 6 games.
Yeah, QBR was 98.
Wow. That's beyond good.
Humphreys, Lovett, Delp, Yerker, Smith, Tuggle, Lucky, Bell, Jones, Frazier.
Good gosh, how many different people?
You get the ball, and you get a ball, and everybody's at Oprah. You get a ball.
How'd you like to be the wide receiver coach and keep all them
63, 59, 56, 51, 50, 25, 23, 12, 4, 4. That's the yards for all the guys. Defensive lead, Mondon Jr. and KJ Bolden. They were smoking it. How
many tackles did Mondon have?
That's the difference. 8. A sack and 1 for a loss. That's what that for me. That was the difference in the game. Beck making that run, and
their defense.
Dude, did you watch the game?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see
I watched a lot of it?
At some points of the game, Georgia, their defensive line, they have like 3 guys on the left and like 1 guy on the right with his hand down. Everybody else is standing up. You see that?
Mm-hmm. I just know they gave him a hard time.
The way the
Nico
defense
was under a lot of pressure.
The way Georgia's defense lined up, Schumann and Kirby did a good job.
Man, I tell you who they did give, and you heard it. Herb Street said game ball goes to Bobo.
Yeah, let me be the first to.
He did a good job last night.
Yeah, let me be the first to. Because I need to be the first. How many times I've drowned that
Well,
man?
I mean, I've even been this.
How long have I drowned that man? They ain't tell him. I mean, tell him.
A while, yeah. You don't like it. You're not a fan. And I've joined in.
I'm still not a fan.
But he did have a good game last night.
One game don't prove nothing to me.
Well, I just think he throws the ball too much.
He threw it 40 times Saturday.
Threw it 40 times last night. It just happened to be working. It worked.
Yeah, because Tennessee wouldn't adjust. That's why it worked. 25 for 40. And you rushed the ball for barely. You rushed the ball for 100. I'm telling you right now.
Mm-hmm. How many times did they run the ball?
Georgia ran the ball 31 times.
31.
Tennessee 39. So first of all, let me give flowers. So when I dig on a guy, I need to say first, and we'll be done here. We'll get off here. I need to. When the guy's – and he ain't been good. And he had a good game. So, Bobo does get the game ball. I liked the play calling. Birds, if you're watching, I did. I liked it. I liked the play calling. I think that – I love the tight end getting involved in the middle, in the hash, keeping inside the hash. Yeah. Obviously, they recognized something. He could see from the box and go, hey, that's open a lot. Let me throw that.
Boy, that where he fakes it to the running back, the tight end drag. God, that was open.
Bama running against Mercer a couple of times. Bama running against LSU, remember? Mm-hmm. Same kind of play.
Yeah.
When you got linebackers that are trying to blitz, or you're trying to at least blitz one and one guy's going to spy, well, you do have to spy Nico a little bit, and you're definitely like Vanderbilt was double spying Milroe. Georgia did a lot. That's what got them beat. Or they would take off and double blitz, and he was just throwing behind where the defense was. That's what Beck did.
Right. Yeah, he had a great night, which he's capable of it. From stories I've heard, I work with a lot of Georgia fans. They just say he's just in another – he's got a girlfriend. She's famous, plays basketball at Miami. He's got in a Lamborghini. And they just say his mind just seems to be on some other things right now.
I just don't. That could be some of it, but I'm just – before he had the Lamborghini and the girlfriend, I didn't think he was good then.
Right.
I just don't think he's that good.
You don't think he's elite?
No. There's not an elite quarterback in the – let me tell you, probably close to elite, and I'll probably get some slashes for this, and I really don't care. Mm-hmm. Probably Shador.
He's pretty good.
Tell me I'm a liar. Type me out a letter and say you're insane. Sanders sucks. Why? Because he's thrown for 8,000 yards with no offensive line. They got a good left tackle, and that's about it. They can't run the ball.
Mm-hmm. No, they started running better.
Think if he was with a team. Well, they started playing 12-man personnel. Mm-hmm. Well, you line up and run the ball. When you start putting in tight ends, you can run the ball. And when they started doing that, that's when the winning started. Somebody finally got in his ear
and said, "You got to quit spreading everything out.
Get in 12, man. Get out. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. You don't have to play 12 all night because they're going to throw it because they're going to highlight their main player, Travis Hunter from Sanders.
Oh, he's got about 7 or 8 different receivers he throws to. I know Hunter's the best one, but they've got Horn, they've got Shepard, they've got a bunch.
Short, what's up, you old scallywag? Georgia's very beat up running back. Well,
yes, they are.
Well, their best players are in jail. That's the problem. Mm-hmm. That's the main problem. And Kirby gives some little digs there at the end of the game. You hear some of those towards the committee, or you just had to watch that after the game.
Yeah.
And some of it he's shouting out at his fans, and he's thanks for coming because he got on them for not showing up during the year. And they've been gone for 30-something days, and they're home. They had a blackout. Alabama didn't show up, thank God, or they'd have turned the power off like they did last time Alabama played Georgia at a blackout. It's a good night to have a good night.
Right.
I had a lot of recruits there. A lot of recruits. And I opened the show with recruiting. Georgia better get on the stick. Their style of football is a little 2000-ish. That Cochran weight room program is very 2000-ish. Their quarterback is very 2010-ish. They have no elite receivers, really.
They got good receivers.
Very good receivers. They don't have a guy that's like, well, we can hang our hat on this guy. We got a Ryan Williams type guy.
Like a George Pickens.
Yeah.
So
that's my warning for Georgia is great win, way to stay alive. You don't want to play for the SEC title because with 3 losses, you're out. You'd rather, I don't know, you probably hope A&M beats Texas.
We were talking today. I don't see
who's
the
in
way they won't be.
Yeah, we can end it on that.
I mean, they beat 2 top 10 teams.
Well, who's?
They beat 2 top 10. I mean, they've got to be. I mean, Ole Miss lost to Kentucky. Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. I know Alabama beat Georgia and Ole Miss beat Georgia. But then Georgia beat Tennessee, and then Tennessee beat Alabama. It's just crazy.
Well, see, the Bama LSU victory don't look as good.
No, not with them losing to 5-5 Florida, who's better than we thought. Which nobody ever thought they would be bad. I just thought their schedule was horrible. I thought they'd be lucky to go. I mean, build them a statue if they went 8-4.
Who wins the SEC championship? You know, they called Texas. I guess it's Texas.
Well, you know, A&M may beat them. I got a feeling they're going to be ready for that game, though. Texas. And I'm anxious to see who that number 2 will be because, like you say, you got a 4-way tie. Tennessee, if they win out, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Alabama, Georgia.
But where's that going to put? All right, A&M and darn it, stupid hats. You can't never look at that.
That'll just be 2 for A&M. It'll be a 5-way tie. But A&M lost another outside game, so that will.
But they lost to Notre Dame.
That'll do them in. They won't make it if they lose. But I don't know. I don't know their formula. I don't know. Head to head, I looked today. Georgia and Alabama don't have any common opponents. Georgia beat Auburn 18. I mean, they're going to give it to Alabama if they beat them by 19. I mean, I don't know.
You'll have to. They'll have to go outside. Games not, played in conference. Their wins, like I guess high school, Bama will get Wisconsin's wins or Mercer's wins. Man, Mercer's good. By the way, if y'all didn't know, Bama goat herded Mercer.
Yeah.
Their 4th-team players played.
Mm-hmm.
Mercer is the number 1 defense in the FCS.
Really?
Number 7 passing defense in the FCS.
Uh-huh.
This is the elite defense in the FCS, and Bama could have scored 80.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not blowing up Bama's stick here. Of course, you're supposed to be. I'm just making the point that FCS, FBS, it's Alabama and Mercer. There's a difference.
Let me see what.
So, is there any way that Texas and Texas A&M play twice? I never heard nobody say that.
We'll see. No, I've never heard that.
Is there any way that could happen?
From what my understanding was,
because Georgia don't have another conference. Georgia is finishing the conference. Listen, people, 6-2.
Yes, they're done. But
They got
Georgia Tech. They need to win that.
They got who they got next? South Carolina Junior College.
Yeah, and then they've got Georgia Tech.
Yes. Well, what if that? Oh my God. What if the Rambling Wreck shows up and beats Georgia?
Well, they could.
I don't think so.
I don't think they will either.
I don't think they're good enough up front to push enough. Tennessee will
be in a 2-way tie.
Well, they still got Vanderbilt.
All right, let me hold it right here now, Tina. There's still numerous college football teams in contention for the SEC championship.
Oh, Vanderbilt could beat Tennessee, guys.
They
Hello.
could beat Tennessee.
Huh.
Here are the SEC.
They could not adjust, man. They just Tennessee didn't adjust it all on defense. They just come out after halftime and said, "I like what we're doing. Let's just stay with that."
See, here's B. Here's the second thing, head to head. So Alabama gets that over Georgia. Then record against all coming conference opponents. Well, it's going to be the same. But then you got Tennessee's beat Alabama. I mean, it's just crazy. Tennessee beat Georgia and Vanderbilt. Alabama beat Oklahoma and all. I mean, nobody knows. It's going to take they're going to have to bring in Albert Einstein to figure this thing out.
Digging up bones. I'm digging up bones.
I mean, I agree with Matt. You don't want to be the team that really goes to it if you got 2 losses because you can't afford to lose. But I'll just be honest, and I'm not trying to do.
Who's that?
Georgia's beat 2 top 10 teams.
Who's that?
They need to go.
Oh, hang on. It's Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah, we need you to try to pick the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
No, not lacrosse. No, not soccer. Football. I know you.
Curling.
This guy. Who is this clown?
Smartest guy.
I know you don't watch football, but we're going to send you a formula, and we need you to figure.
I mean,
he's out. He said, "I don't know. He don't know." I mean, if Neil deGrasse Tyson don't know,
and I'm not being anti-Bama, but I just don't see how Georgia don't go with their win over Texas and Tennessee.
I never thought Bama would be in.
I don't see any way Alabama can. I may be wrong. They did beat Georgia, but they didn't beat Tennessee.
Yeah, Coach Short's right. If he would like to see Bama, but if you go to the SEC game, you better not lose it. You're out.
You can't lose.
If you lose, you're out of the playoff.
I would think.
You won't be in. A 3-loss team is not getting in.
They pretty much said
because
3-loss teams.
You're going to have a 1-loss. They'll stick a 1-loss Indiana after Ohio State smokes them.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you get into that. It's like, what's next? A 4-loss, then a 5-loss.
Well, they're going to 16 teams in 26. We're turning this into basketball.
Yeah.
The SEC isn't counting the head-to-head, so if Alabama wins out, they will get the second place because Alabama, they do count head-to-head.
Tennessee beat.
We read that. That's the first thing they do was head-to-head.
Okay, Alabama beat Georgia. Tennessee beat Alabama.
He's saying they're not counting head-to-head, but I read that's the first thing they do.
I don't know.
That's the number one. You have to. You can't put in people.
You talked about it before. It's got to be Georgia because they beat 2 top 10s, and their losses are the 2 top 10s.
Well, obviously they're not doing strength of schedule, or Indiana wouldn't be in there. Indiana would be ranked about 23. Down there with BYU and Arizona State. They ain't played nobody.
I got a sneaking suspicion, and I don't know why. I think it'll be Alabama, but nobody
play
can
Texas.
explain to me why.
Texas beats A&M, then Texas plays Alabama.
I don't.
And we get beat, and there's 3 losses. You're out of the playoffs. Go to a bowl game, and
why wouldn't it be Tennessee? There's no argument that nobody can.
Who would Bama play in a bowl game?
See, Alabama got beat by Vandy, who's unranked.
Bama will get BYU in a bowl game or something. Go to Orange Bowl, I guess, or go to
SMU.
Yeah,
somebody like that.
Runner-ups. Or maybe we may get Clemson if they get beat in their conference game. Clemson and Bama rematch in the Sugar Bowl.
And Bama fans, you're going to get mad at me over this, and I don't mean nothing by it. I see no scenario and no possible solution for Alabama to go to this.
Well, if they don't count head-to-head, like Ben said, then we went out. We got a great shot to go in, especially if Vandy beats Tennessee.
If Vandy beats Tennessee, yes. Yeah, whoever's ranked higher.
Well, guys, it's been a full show, 2 hours right on the money. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, I did watch. I think they had a exhibition, and I think they made a lot of money. Tyson made $20 million. I've watched Mike Tyson since he started. The guy that I saw sparring, I'm not a boxing expert at all, but I have kept up with it. I didn't see the guy that sparred fight Jake Paul.
Mm-hmm.
He was biting his glove, which is a habit that he has.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to me I'm a pretty good judge of body language and character. I have read some books about it, like how to analyze people in situations, how they talk and their demeanor. Because it was just fun one summer. It's just bored. Back when we had libraries, I know kids, y'all got, no idea about that, but he wanted to hit him really so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But if Tyson knocks Jake out, it totally destroys him to get knocked out by a 60-year-old. He loses his fame. Mike comes in and he sells out and takes a $20 million check just to go out there and bounce around, throw a few punches, a round or two, and then basically just walk around and let Jake punch him 3 or 4 times. Mm-hmm. There's nothing but a cash grab. Now, a lot of guys that are our age that watched Mike fight, that seen him destroy everybody that's in front of him.
Yeah.
I just didn't see the guy that sparred against Jake Paul.
Right.
This wasn't the same. Not even close. Jake Paul's ready, wasn't either. He's a step jabber. Jake has fought one legitimate boxer, and he lost.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you think it was just all a big hoax?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing to it.
No, just make money. That's fine.
That's a shame.
I would love to see Paul fight an Alvarez or fight a young up-and-coming boxer at your age, 25 to 30, new into heavyweight or middleweight. And I think he'd probably fight better at 185, Jake. He was at right at 200 a little more for this fight. He tried to bulk up a little to match Mike because Mike's a 220, 230 guy. Mm. So Jake, Logan is he's a clown. I could care less about him. He's not just what I see from him, if that's his real personality online, he's a POS.
Who?
His brother Logan.
Yeah.
Rassels. And he told Mike he would beat his ass if they fought. Mm. Mike would break Logan Paul. He won real, legitimate sternum punch. Logan goes to the hospital. Mm-hmm. But like Jake said at the end of the match, you know where the money is. I'm the money man. Come find the money. If you want to fight, you make money, come holler at me. This is where we're at now with boxing. It's a joke. It's sick. Mike ought to be ashamed for letting that happen. He shouldn't agree to it. He's supposed to be promoting boxing and bringing boxing back to a high level. And he agreed to fight this jackwagon. He should have told him no. Kiss it, dude. I'm not $20 million. He goes, well, I could pay off a lot of bills. I mean, his weed business makes him a lot of money, Mike Tyson's. He's got these little edible ear bites, edible gummies, ear bites. He gives some to Holyfield. Mike Tyson is a legend. He's a Hall of Fame. He don't owe nobody nothing. He don't owe anybody anything. This guy is the youngest champ ever. He fought guys like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield twice, Buster Douglas's, even Larry Holmes. I know Larry's at the end of his career.
Still,
Mike destroyed everybody he faced except Buster. Michael Spinks was kind of a little older, but he destroyed these guys. Mm. It's kind of like, Mercer's got the number 1 defense in the FCS, but when Bama played them, but Bama beat the brakes off of them. That's how if you play they play in a weak region, no wonder. Yeah, but they're beating the crap out of people. Yeah. Mike played he had a few runs there for some guys he had to box, but he was destroying them in like a round or two. Mm. Remember the old white guys, old clowns he'd have to fight?
Oh, yeah.
Some of those silly fights. You're like, Who is Bill Smitter?
Yeah, I remember the one. I can't remember the guy's name.
Yeah, the one that talked all the junk, got up in his face.
Yeah, Galooly. No, it wasn't Galooly.
Yes.
That's the guy that had Tanya Harding.
The dark-headed guy had his hair combed back.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
That was exactly. I'm just
tried to make it into a big thing.
Yeah, and he knocked him out first round. Put him to sleep. Spit his mouthpiece out.
That's when he came back.
He put him to the ropes. Mm-hmm. Dude, he cross-eyed Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes hit the ground like this. Mm-hmm. When Larry Holmes his head hit the mat when Tyson knocked him in his eyes. He was like that. Mike Tyson knocked Larry Holmes' eyes crooked. I'm sorry, Michael Spinks' eyes crooked.
Yeah. He had the thing hanging out his mouth.
Yeah.
The mouthpiece.
So it was kind of it was a little bothersome for me to see him just sitting in the corner like.
Yeah.
I just want to go. Why am I doing this?
You knew he didn't.
He was bored. No, he didn't fight. Y'all can say whatever you want to, and you can call me crazy, and that's fine. Tyson, I'm sorry, Mike. He took a fall or whatever you want to say. He didn't fall. He probably said, "I'm not falling. You can beat me in decision, prop your record up, and help you carry your career on." Jake Paul's a joke. Fight somebody, bro. Grow a pair. I know people around here that would fight you. If that's all he's got, said, "Oh, here's how he punt. He's got block here." He looks like Gomer Pyle out there.
Yeah, Gomer.
He has a left step jab. Like he drops his head, he holds his hand up, but he steps with his left foot. Like, what got you? He's like, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Gomer when he would, that stupid thing kind of gets on you, the goober.
Goober and Gomer. Yeah.
What a clown.
Cousins.
That's where he's from. Jake Paul, you're from Mayberry, bro. Go back home and just water around your money in Puerto Rico. And it's just a disgraceful to boxing. We ain't had good boxing, Dean, probably since Dale Earnhardt died. Something happened in sports those years.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I mean, just think about it.
NASCAR, boxing, 2000. Yeah.
We ain't had none of that. And I thought Tyson Fury and the Bronze Bomber, Birmingham would bring something. And they did.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little
Talk
bit.
about Wilder.
Yeah, they brought some of that back. Him and Fury fought a couple of times, and you got this Curtis guy that's supposed to be good coming up. I try to keep up a little because I used to like watching boxing. There's nothing to watch. But I like NASCAR. Jake Paul. Whatever, guys. Also, Alabama State and Southern Alabama, possibly AHSA Super 7 sites. I'm down with that. I think that's what we should have done a long time ago. I don't know why. Why do we not buy the Birmingham Southern and just what? Ain't that about right in the middle?
It's close.
Somebody give me a yardage from Trinity, Alabama to Opp, Alabama. Let's take that measurement from Trinity to Opp. How many miles is that? And then divide it and then see how close it is to Birmingham Southern campus. It's close now, right? Jake Mintz went there, right?
Yes.
Shout out to Jake Cole. That was Marcus' hero. Marcus loved Jake. He loved taking his kicking boot out to him. He loved doing that. He had that old flat in shoe.
I think Jake did he go to Birmingham Southern or Sanford?
He may have went to Sanford. Yeah,
Cole
it was
played
Sanford.
at Birmingham.
Cole played at Birmingham. Yeah. Anyway, that's a good. I like that, Ben. Maybe so. Alabama State and South of because they're having to get Bama and Auburn out of the rotation because of the 12-team deal. I don't think Auburn's going to be. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
You think they're ever going to be in the 12-team playoff?
I'm sure they will eventually.
I better get them developing some players. Better get a staff together.
Yeah, but I don't know when.
Better get them a staff together. They're
one of them teams that always rolls around.
They'll have a couple of years.
Loaded here.
They'll have a good year, 2 or 3 years. They'll make a run at it, and they're going to have a great class coming in. But can they develop them? I mean, you got Kim Coleman, guy. He's great in high school. He was awesome.
Yeah, he's still young. He may come on out. I don't know.
He's struggling a little bit. Maybe he'll had a great game Saturday. Shout out to Cam Coleman. Played at Central down there, didn't he?
Yes.
All right, let's get off here. But anyway, I had to talk about Tyson. That was a big deal. Big deal. I had to talk about it. I had to get it off my chest.
Yeah.
It's not a real fight. That was an exhibition.
About it.
It's an exhibition. Jake put him some money out there. Tyson took the money and said, okay, whatever. He's biting his gloves going, got him. I even want to knock his face off. He would destroy him, man. Just 4 years ago, we fought Roy Jones. Did anybody watch that fight? Hello. He boxed Roy Jones great. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I know they're both older. And Roy come out of the ring and said, God dang, he still hits like a mule. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sore. And the next two, they interviewed him like a few days later, and he said, I'm sore. He said, I know we wouldn't have no headshots. They agreed, okay, not trying to knock nobody out. And they had 14-ounce big puffy gloves. They didn't use the 12-ounce. Bro, put some 12-ounce gloves on Mike and let Jake. Bro, yeah. I didn't see the guy that you seen at sparring. He was knocking that dude up off his feet.
Yeah, yeah.
And he comes out there in powder puffs.
Yeah, he's just. I mean, and I know somebody's gonna say you're just saying that because you're 50. Dude, 58. I'm sorry, that's not ancient. That's not.
Well,
I mean,
he's a millionaire. He has
it's not real old.
He has a barometric chambers. Well, 58, you lose speed, and he don't have speed, but he's still strong. And Mike Tyson still has the mind. He's one of the greatest boxers ever.
Yeah.
Top 5 for me personally. I mean, we go through the Joe Frazier's and the Ali's and all them, but anyway, I'm a big well, I just forgot his name. Probably one of my favorite boxers from London. Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
Man, I liked him.
Yeah, he was a good one.
Joe Frazier and George, that battle.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys, man, they used to beat the crap out of each other. George Foreman's great.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Talking about taking a punch. Joe Frazier beat that old head of his. Ali beat that head of his.
They won anyway.
All right, see Jeff. Birds, what's going on, Scallywag? What's up, guys? Best dang sports show duo in the USA. We do appreciate the kind words. Fine Bitten Birds over there at Northwest Georgia Scoreboard Show. He's got a big following on Twitter. Type him in on Google. You'll see him over there. Sunglasses, private plane, alligator loafers, Bitten Birds. You got to get back on here. We got to get your thoughts on the who's winning the SEC. I guess Texas.
I don't know. I've just
B.U. Crawford defense, 61 tackles.
B.U. Crawford.
Valdosta 28. Look at Walton come back 28-20
yeah,
now.
I think Valdosta does win.
They got a good football team. Yeah. That's a big area down there.
Oh yeah, good football.
That play right there will work. All kind of coaches. I wish even high school. That little quick slant. I mean, linebackers just usually don't scramble back, play zone in high school. They just they're blitzing usually.
Right, usually.
Man, it works a lot. They won't throw it right there. It's a soft spot.
Yeah, Valdosta got to play Carrollton next week.
Like Kevin Hart's brother.
Kevin Hart.
All right. The Red One movie. Again, that's a good movie. Y'all go see it. Take your kids, Birds. It was a good, clean movie. Y'all go check it out. It's a good Christmas movie. So we'll be back I guess Tuesday, we'll come on here and do, let's see. We didn't even say, we have no idea what I'm doing here. Back up 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 clicks to get to go back 1 time. Next week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about it. Auburn plays Texas A&M. Alabama plays Oklahoma.
Thursday night, North Carolina State, Georgia Tech. Indiana, Ohio State, the game of the year.
That's the big one.
Ole Miss at Florida, 11 o'clock ABC, guys. SMU at Virginia, 11 o'clock ESPN2. Nobody cares. Sam Houston at JSU, 11 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. Good luck to our
JSU still rolling.
Gamecocks. They're leading the conference. UMass at Dogs on SEC Network. Tennessee host UTEP. What? I'd watch a little bit of that. Just watch UTEP for a little. They got a good football team.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to win.
Tennessee.
No, but I'm saying they got a good team. I mean, watch their players, their quarterback and stuff. They got a receiver that's really good. South Alabama be at Southern Miss, 2 o'clock. Be a good game. Tickets $11, Dean.
$11.
Kentucky at Texas, 2:30 ABC. That could be the one. Something stupid. Something just absolutely ironic.
It'll be a big win for Stoops. It's huge win.
That would be almost as bad as Vanderbilt beating Alabama.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It'd be close.
Does Minnesota beat Penn State at home at 2:30?
I think they can, yes.
Arizona State will host BYU. Is that another loss for BYU? I think
so.
I think so too. 2:30 ESPN podcast people. Colorado at Kansas. Could Kansas do it for 3 weeks in a row? 2:30 Fox. Tickets $57.
I think Colorado wins, but I think it'll be close. Kansas nearly 3 upsets in a row.
The CW Network will be carrying the Clemson Tigers. The Fighting Sweeneys will play the Citadel.
No, they should win that. Then they got South Carolina next week.
Wisconsin at Nebraska. What's wrong with
I don't
Nebraska,
know.
Dean? What's
They've
happened?
just completely unraveled.
What happened?
I don't know.
Ravioli he's not hurt, is he?
No.
He's been playing. I've seen his numbers. He threw like 4 picks in one game.
No, they've lost.
How do you go from? How do you go for like 3 touchdowns in the next game? 4 picks.
I don't know what's happened. They've lost 4 in a row. They're 5-5. They got one more game they've got to win to even beat, and they won't make the bowl again. I think the place is cursed, but I won't get into all that.
Yeah,
I mean it's just unreal.
I couldn't pay $134 to go to Berkeley and watch them play Stanford. That may be a good game. 2:30 ACC Network. Texas Tech at Oklahoma State. Georgia Southern at Coastal, not a bad game. Pitt at Louisville, not a bad game.
Could
ESPN 2,
yeah.
middle of the day game. Probably when you're nappy, you may wake up and catch some of that when you're digging the fuzz out of your belly button. Troy at the Raging Cajuns, 4:00. Good luck to
Be a good game.
Brody Dalton and them down there. Army at Notre Dame, 6:00 on NBC. I think everybody's going to watch that.
Army at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one.
Alabama's at Oklahoma, late, 6:30 ABC. We'll be tuning into that one.
Yeah.
Same time on ESPN, you flip it back and forth and watch A&M at Auburn. Auburn can make a big old stinky mess and win the next 2 games and make a big old stinky mess.
Yeah, big time.
Beat A&M and Bama.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it'd be and then A&M beat Texas, and then Vanderbilt beat Tennessee.
Oh, man. Chaos.
Vanderbilt's got LSU, Dean, 6:45 on SEC Network.
Be a good game.
What do you think?
I think LSU will win, but
4 in a row. Do they lose 4 in a row?
no, I don't think so. Surely not.
Ooh, I like that one. So most of the better games are going to be on from 6.
6 on.
Tomorrow during the day, not a lot of good games. USC, UCLA, Colorado State, Fresno State. Yeah, about 3. So probably in the morning, if you're up early like me, you may fiddle fart around and watch. I'll watch Sam Houston, Jacksonville probably.
Be a good one.
SMU and Virginia probably. Maybe. But the early game is Indiana, Ohio State, and I'll turn it on. I know because I'll be up.
Yeah, that's a good big one.
Mopping, or I may be up. I may put some chicken fingers on, or put on some wings maybe for chips and dip, and I'll probably watch the first half. Ohio State should smother them.
Should.
Do they already have 11 o'clock on Fox? 11-point favorite.
11 point. Yeah, I think
Is that fair?
They'll be okay. Yes, definitely.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yes.
I want to see here. See some other points. What do they got for? Let's see. Bama, Oklahoma points. Dean, what do you think before we look? Minus
16.5.
It's 14.
Dang it.
Bama favorite 2 touchdowns.
Alabama's hard to pick. They are. They usually don't. I'll put it like this, and I'm not talking about anything big, but I've been in on pools and stuff, and they screw me over every time. And there for a while, their spreads were so ridiculous. It was 31 over A&M. I'm like, come on, man.
A&M. Where's this game at?
Auburn.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it's at Auburn. I think I'm just 100% sure I just seen that. A&M is favored by 2.5.
I don't see that.
What? They meant to.
Of course, they usually know what they're talking about, but I still don't see that.
I think I would take that.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought it would be.
I might get on Prize Picks and bet about $20 on it.
A 1-5 conference team versus a 5-1 conference team, and it's 2.5.
2.5.
Auburn, if y'all hadn't paid attention, Auburn's not been real good at home this year.
No.
Burge, the reveal show Tuesday at 7 Eastern. Yeah, last week we didn't get to do it. He had a game or something. So Earl had something. We'll get back on Tuesday if y'all want to. And y'all tune in here. about 5 or 6, and we'll talk about some of them games.
Yeah.
A little deeper. And we'll watch the selection show.
The old selection show.
That's the one. We'll find out. So, thank you guys, everybody, for coming by and hanging out with us. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It's very easy. You don't cost anything. Dean, how easy is it?
Just click the subscribe.
I mean, it's just like this. All you got to do is go. You're subscribed. Nothing happens. Don't cost you any money. You don't have to put in an email. It just shows up a notification. Locker Room Sports is live.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it does. Find us on Applecast, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're on all the famous local channels, and we'll see you guys back Sunday here for the duo. And I'll be back on here probably
6 o'clock.
Probably with Birds. Probably about 5 Tuesday.
Yeah, that'll be big. That's a big one.
Yeah, yeah. This is the one that you can't miss. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all have a fantastic week. God bless you. Keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God. We'll catch you guys.
See y'all. We'll probably be at Piedmont Friday.
Yeah, I think that's where we'll be at. Piedmont or Oxford. We'll flip a coin.